Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
I chase dreams, I chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I chase money. I go dummy. Everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey. I go dummy. Everybody hate to love me.
Stomping the floppy shoes so hard, Italy to class delirious. You praying to stop so much, it's like you're having a religious experience. Despite all of your denials, I know that you know me and your crew. Ask your girl the last time she phoned me. Allegedly, just admit that even now you sing along. And even after I've wrecked you, you gotta bump my song. You should copyright loser because the dictionary cloned you. Crushed so hard, now my cleats own you. It's that umbrella guy, clutching the verbal hammer, locking you down in this inescapable syllable slammer. You wanna step up and try to oppose me? Yeah, you should ask anyone that really knows me. I'll take your bling, your girl, your dog, and move in your home, only to get out the verbal flamethrower and consume your plastic gnomes. You drift, you whip, you ride, your bride consumed by this mic hitter, just to drop them on the market to the highest bidder. It's that umbrella guy, live from the hat rack, with elbows that hit so hard you'll think it's a nuclear impact. I mean respecting you, please, that's a word you'll never earn. Yet another lesson you clowns have never learned. Along with standing tall and pride and repping values that you feel, and not fake morals you found inside your happy meal. I listen to you with your speaking style education, wondering if your parents bred with their relations. Wearing your big red nose and still thinking that you're a star, while you're forced to bump that umbrella guy inside your clown car. Yeah, it's that umbrella guy, broadcasting live to the masses. Timing out full, sorry we ran out of free passes. We gotta go further and not just expose you. Listen and believe royalty, we gotta depose you. Getting masked up because this flow is criminal. Dropping hammers so hard, they're subliminal. Unconsciously you want me to own you, as the parasol Pope is set to dethrone you. And I'm out.
And I'm not out. What's up, folks? Welcome to, for some reason, I keep thinking it's Wednesday. I don't
Me too. All day. I thought it was Wednesday.
Really?
I
did that.
I panicked when you said you were working on a thumbnail. I was like, holy crap. I hope it's Tug's day. He doesn't mean my thumbnail, does he? Because is it Wednesday? And because I was out all day, I was panicking. I was like, no.
I've been having that day all day. I actually last week, I woke up at 7:15 in the morning, which was like a late thing. And I thought, oh my God, I forgot to put up a thumbnail. Oh my God, the stream. Did I put up a thumbnail? I thought I'd overslept a freaking stream or something. Oh my God. I love it when days like that happen though, and they're not true. Then I'm like, well,
Right.
it's better than coffee to wake you up, you know?
Oh man, I had quite the day. I am exhausted. I was out in 100-degree heat at the water park all day with the kids. It's their school water park day. And I am so proud of myself for being prepared. So this spring, it rained so much in New York that I got super sick of being out and about without an umbrella. Somehow all of our umbrellas went missing, you know? So I went to Amazon and I bought like 6 umbrellas, golf umbrellas, the big ones. And I'm like, nobody's going to be losing these umbrellas because they're too big.
I approve that, by the way. As an umbrella guy, I do approve that.
Yes. And I bought like 6 of them. I spent like $100 on umbrellas. And then I put a bunch of them in my car. I put like 2 or 3 of them in my car. And like, I'm never going to be without an umbrella. Again, I'm just tired of being without an umbrella. So I get to the water park today and none of the shaded spots are available. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I've got umbrellas in my car.
Hell yeah.
And I did. I parked myself on a beach chair and I set up my umbrellas. I had 2 of them. I was completely shaded all day long. It's fantastic.
That's it, man. They're better than, stocks. Who needs that? Just buy umbrellas. More umbrellas. That's what it is, man.
More umbrellas. That's what we need.
Yeah, obviously. As not your business consultant, I definitely approve that message. Yeah, see, and if my business advice goes sideways, you'll have umbrellas while you're living on the sidewalk or whatever. So
see,
yeah,
there you
great
go.
advice. You gotta love that,
And I also used it to walk around the park. Tell you what, I can't believe Americans don't use umbrellas for sunshade more often.
Oh man, I love umbrellas. I really do, for real. All joking aside, I really do love them. Check this out. I want to show you something, by the way. Somebody found this and showed it to me, and I thought this was really interesting. I want to make sure I've already made sure to get screenshots of it, but I want to put it on the screen while we're doing this. So you remember when we were sued, not sued, and then we were taken out of the litigation? You remember all that fun stuff before we got to back in?
The fake lawsuit no one's ever going to get served in?
Well, apparently someone was stalking my Twitter. And while I was talking about it, yes, look, they are following me still to this moment. They are.
Oh, no. Is she following me? I'm going to have to block her, aren't I?
Well, she's actually got multiple accounts. There's 2 at least.
Of course she does. She probably has 20.
But back here in June, I was posting and I said, I'm officially not being sued anymore. I guess calling someone a muppet and an idiot isn't a crime? ? Lo and behold, look who's stalking me everywhere I'm at. Tagging me into everything. And look, over and over and over.
Oh God.
Yeah, and she was also like slapping up other freaking, I mean, look at this mess. Look at this, tagging in everybody that's in litigation. So God, I everything I find from that time period, I'm like, this person actually went out, put together litigation, and then does stuff like this. I'm being harassed. By the way, last night was kind of amazing too on that front. So you had 2L and Lips get together. Not only did the live stream not do very well comparatively number wise, but they decided to show off her buying redirects. Now, somebody actually captured all of these. Now, you got to remember, I'm not saying if this was just some regular day, who gives a shit, right? I mean, honestly, these are just annoying troll attempts. Who cares? It's not even good copycatting. I know somebody who does this very well. Sinking chief. Sorry. No, but props to them. I do know somebody who's, done this a long time before them. But they decided, here's screenshots of the redirects. Now, when you search, like Jeremy B. Hales pops up. Bam. Look, Hodunk Hillbillies. If you meganfoxwriter.com, bam, it pops up. Hodunk Hillbillies. ShizzyWiznut.com. You can see it there. Hodunk Hillbillies. Again, these are people they're suing. Not smart move. The reason they didn't do mine, now this really got me here because it tells you what kind of legal minds we are working with. They said the reason they didn't do mine was because of trademark. I had trademarked my stuff, which I have, but you don't have to have it registered to own a trademark. The trademark exists because of use, In fact, that's how trademarks, it's not the first person to go out and to trademark it, to stick it in with, all you're doing is sticking this in. It sounded terrible. Stick it in. Wait, let me roll back that one. To file and to make that, supposedly legal. She thinks this is the way you do it. No. It's just use. That's all you have to. And that's very well established. Trademark law is very well established on that.
Well, that's interesting.
It's called prior use, by the way. Just to know.
She's ridiculous. I don't know what else to say other than nice 7th grade trolling attempt. Like I don't know. I'm not using that website, so I don't have a website. So anyone, did she think that people are going to think it's me or something? They're not. I've never used a website, so whatever.
But you cannot claim like, oh my God, these people they're harassing me. I'm afraid. Remember the stuff about Shizzy? Show me where I'm stalking and harassing Lips. Exactly. What am I doing to her, other than reporting on the crappy things she's done to other people? What am I doing to her? She filed that Shizzy. Quote again, this is the name of the filing. Plaintiff's notice of video threat to plaintiff threatening harm on her and her children if she obtains his legal name. So she's filing about how she's terrified that this guy's threatening her more. And yet, at the same time, she's doing this. Right. You know how badly this stuff plays in a court. And to be honest, I mean, I've never had so many people that have been attached to the ecosystem that have reached out to me and been like, yo, this person, man, Well, that's probably why Lisa's shows are failing. I'm not sure that people really are connecting with Leslie, let's say. I'm not sure they want to hear her go off on her ranting. I didn't think anybody wanted to listen to Lisa for 4 hours a night, but apparently they want to listen to Leslie even less. That's indeed true. Well, it has been amazing to see the drop off because of that. They thought that they thought weaponizing, bringing in a female. Well, unfortunately, this person takes over every stream they get involved in, doesn't understand mic etiquette in any way, shape, or form, and comes off as extremely mentally ill, Yeah, and they've got old Ray Bone Crusher. They rolled his old bones out to do a stream recommending that people go and follow Lips. Did you see this? I did. They've rolled him on out there to say, oh, you should go and subscribe to Leslie, even though we know she's severely mentally ill and she does things that really bother people. But, you just got to give her a pass because she's so mentally ill. I mean, he talks about that. It's crazy because he does talk about mental illness and that thing. He's like, she goes off the rails, but it's okay because you got to cut the mentally ill some slack. Right. It's the strangest argument I've ever seen. God, it's terrible. Oh, today has been crazy. Last night, Megan had a very, very interesting epiphany talking about documentation. Would you like to tell us, what you found? And I would actually. So I was looking at Randy's filing, and Randy Shockett's a very good lawyer. And in his filing, I was reading it before the show, and in his filing, he talks about
these different rules, these rules about splitting action, causes of action, you can't do that, and also about what was the other thing? Oh, the 2 dismissal rule. Well, that got me researching. I started researching the 2 dismissal rule in Florida, and what I came up with was an 11th Circuit ruling that I read a little bit of last night. And instead of just going back over that with you, I could just play the clip because what's amazing about this is that now it wasn't this particular ruling that the judge used, but Judge Blytho appears to be maybe listening to this stream. I don't know. But I found that he made a mistake when he ruled in, he allowed them to dismiss counts 2 and 3 in March. Because this 11th Circuit ruling says you can't do that. You can only dismiss an entire action under 41B, the rule 41B, or 41A1 and 41B1 or whichever rule it is, you can only dismiss the entire action. Well, today, let's play this little clip and then we'll tell you what he did.
Yeah, then we'll go over the filing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One, that doesn't work either. It doesn't. Like you have it factually dismisses the entire thing. Because if that were taken up on appeal, the appeals court has already ruled on it. You can't just dismiss 1 or 2. You have to dismiss the whole thing. Look at this. We recently reemphasized our Perry holding, noting that Rule 41A does not permit plaintiffs to pick and choose, dismissing only particular claims within an action. What? So I don't even think they should have gotten away with what they did before with 2 and 3, but I think because Randy didn't object, I think that's why it was, if it was granted at all. Did we pull up, what did you say the number of the document was? You pulled it up. We found that he did grant it. Randy didn't object, but I then go on to say, I think he made a mistake. I think the judge made a mistake. Now, you all know I got to change my icon for this because my court prognosticator, I got to put my court prognosticator icon back up because I said to you last night, I think the judge made a mistake. And I don't think that that's right. I think his ruling is wrong. Oh, and what did he do today? What did he do today?
Let me guess. He didn't agree with... No, wait, that's not it.
He corrected his mistake.
Yep. He put them in a jackpot.
Sua sponte, he moved on his own to vacate his previous order for dismissing counts 2 and 3. And he has said, and he has quoted the 11th Circuit that I read last night. He quoted a different case, but he quoted the 11th Circuit, same circuit, in that same rule saying you have to dismiss the entire action, not just piecemeal 1 or 2. So you know what that means? You know what that means, folks? Hello, Judge Blytho. We're happy to have you here. And but you know, we do have a list of things of bones to pick with you in the way that you've done this case. I would like to like you. I just don't yet.
Oh, you know what? I don't need to like you. What I need to do, though, is I need to respect some of the decisions. And the one thing that really bothers me is when the judge says, I'm a no-nonsense judge. I'm going to drop the proverbial hammer. You know, you're going to have a sanctions hearing. You're like, everybody must be here. Dude says, I'm not going to be there. I'm not. And
that guy flips you off. He flips you off. And you say, what? Oh, you're going to bring your checkbook. You're going to have sanctions. He flips you off. He tells you to go F yourself. And what do? Nothing.
Nothing. And I mean, there's been nothing on it. Now, I realize there may be some reason you're waiting. Okay. But the thing is that these folks have become so emboldened by now that they are, I mean, you talk about wrecking and trying to ruin lives. It's out there, insanity. And it just keeps getting worse.
It's bad. And look, the judge in this case, I really wanted to like him. I thought I was going to like him. He talked a tough game, and then he's no action. He's all talk, no action. He is not a good judge, in my opinion, at this point. He could turn it around. He could change my mind. But so far, I don't think so. And also, I caught you. I caught you not doing your research. And I think I can now change my medium smart logo to at least smarter than federal judge. Smarter than a federal judge. It might still be medium smart, but maybe on the medium high level now.
Medium high smart.
Medium high. I caught him making a wrong ruling. And no, so maybe it's not the judge listening. Maybe it's one of his clerks. Maybe it's an assistant. But somebody is listening that has access to that judge.
I did feel like it for real. For real, though. I mean, seriously. If the judge, again, I don't have to like a judge's decision. You know, a judge being impartial and neutral, that's fine. I can respect that.
Yep, me too.
I cannot respect somebody saying that they're going to stop harassment. I mean, this stuff is spun to the level. This guy screamed and whined that he was being harassed and victimized, all the while putting together, orchestrating this harassment campaign, the likes I have never seen. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. You have a guy who goes to prison for 4 fucking years, recruited, who is in trouble. It looks like in trouble with another case. I mean, that other case, essentially what we were told about the testimony in that other case is, yeah, they found out that old Paint Chips, he was given information by a person that was involved. Sounds familiar with this. And what did he do? He harassed witnesses, he harassed experts, and more. You know, we have other cases as well. I mean, they just keep recruiting and they feel emboldened to the point. I mean, we already have protective orders. I mean, this has been mentioned. It's not a secret. Like we had Bruce, the same guy who was like, screw this court. He's the one who mentioned it. So
yeah, Bruce, he insulted the judge constantly, saying the court is wrong. The court, he has no couth in court at all. He has no, he doesn't watch his words. He doesn't watch what he says. He gets away with it. And you let him do this and you find Randy $4,000. You find him $4,000 for responding to this man and his shenanigans. That's it. That's all you, and that's all we got. You did not fine Bruce for trying to vacate you, first of all, then refusing to come to the hearing where he was ordered to be, putting up a ridiculous fight, lying in a court filing about why he couldn't be there. His wife did not have a broken arm or whatever the hell. His wife was working, doing yoga.
Well, and lying about, you know, they've set out here and made a mockery of the idea that he, quote unquote, was fired. Now they keep talking about how he's working behind the scenes and he's doing all of this other stuff. He just thinks that he took the bullseye off of himself. He thinks that he got a pass. And
he has made a mockery. He's made a fool out of this judge. He has made you an absolute ass. Judge Blytho, you look like an ass because you let this man, this con man, this criminal from another state, this guy who doesn't obey any of the rules, you let him make you an ass.
I'm stunned by the level of which these people have been allowed to carry on. And nothing has been done about him at all.
He intimidated witnesses. He has been intimidating witnesses for years. It's in all of his bar disciplinary records. He intimidated Shara Wolf, who's a witness. In this case, he intimidated another woman on Facebook and called her attorney and her lawyer or where she works and tried to get her fired. He made you look like a total fool. And you're just letting it go.
If witnesses aren't protected, then they won't come forward, and that's exactly what these people want. You know, they set a precedent for other cases that are going to happen, and I've never seen a level of inaction like this. It's just it's mind-boggling.
Judge Blatho ought to be embarrassed because what you've done here, sir, it's embarrassing.
Florida should be embarrassed by what we have
The
seen.
entire state of Florida should be embarrassed for letting these people get away with this. I don't know how it's so difficult for him to read the evidence in front of him and see what's happening here. This is a horrific injustice that's being done to Jeremy Hales by a bunch of people who are gathered up together, a bunch of them with mental disorders, trying to destroy his life. And it's not hard to see it.
No. I mean, he should get a real clue on that when you just have these random. They talk about, first of all, you've got this other action that's come together. You have federal case 1, federal case 2. Federal case 2 really gives away the game because these people, they say they don't communicate, and yet they'll write motions in concert. They'll write about, hey, this defendant right here, we don't need to bring him in. Every one of them does it. Oh, that's really weird. Then you have this rando who has nothing to do with any of this at all. They put in a filing talking about a case that they've opened up, a case they've not served anybody on, by the way, but they put in a filing on that. Weird. And then less than 12 hours later, you have a 23-page filing that comes out from one of the people connected to that. It heavily references it. You know that they had it beforehand to get it into that. Oh my God. They give away the game. They show you that they are indeed conspiring. Oh my God. Anybody can see it.
It's absolute garbage. It's absolute garbage. The filings have been clear. The behavior of the lawyers has been clear. And the lawyer who behaved the worst is absolutely 100% Bruce Matskin. Not to mention, if the judge would just look at how many filings, the thing that made him so mad about how many filings were in the case, count them. Count the filings, count them, and figure out how many were put in by Bruce Matskin and how many were put in by Randy, because Bruce doubled Randy's filings.
Oh, yeah.
He can't play this "it's both of you" game, and that's what he wants to do. Oh, it's both of you. No, it's really not. And the only person that you sanctioned was the one guy who was trying to do it the right way.
The guy who actually showed up. I mean, that's the thing. The real kicker there. It's the guy that showed up, not the guy who decided, again, he would come up with any excuse whatsoever so he could give you the middle finger. Not that guy. The guy who showed up. He's the one who got punished, because of course he is. And I mean, again, what does that tell people in the future? What does that say to them if they have a problem? Just don't show up.
Yeah, just don't show up. Because the judge he's a paper tiger. He has no teeth. He won't actually bite. He only bites the guy who didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, my God. So again, we should read that order, because it's really great to see this judge. It is as if he got done watching our stream and then was like, "Oh crap, I got to write an order. I screwed it up."
Well, it's a fascinating order for real. Now we are, by the way, up to 159 filings in this case. That's right, 159 filings. We are setting on. You want to talk about disrespect for a courtroom, by the way? I mean, being serious for a moment. Think about the fact that the defendants have not done anything with discovery. Nothing. I mean, you're talking about, they put in boilerplate freaking responses. They get themselves in trouble. You have the guy who does that run around, insult the judge for months about that. Still to this day is insulting the judge about it. He says he's not going to come off of anything. Like, it can't make them, and they didn't. And you know what? Nothing has happened so far.
Nope.
They have some time to respond, but guess what? They didn't comply with the dates. They didn't care. We've been waiting since November to see what was going to come up with that. We know, and the weird thing is, they have filed items. Again, John Cook, when he filed pro se, he actually filed more discovery in that than has actually been turned over to the plaintiff.
And they should be sanctioned for that. But is he going to do it? No, probably not. He's probably not going to sanction them, and he should, because that's what should happen. But he has fallen for the poor, disabled, indigent, disabled, old people who can't do anything and can't afford anything, and we can barely read or write. It's garbage. It's garbage.
Does that matter? Here's the thing. So people, if that was indeed the descriptor of these folks, who, again, let's be clear, they have fundraising. I mean, we're talking about, it looks like potentially 6 figures or more have gone, from people to them.
Yeah, she's not indigent.
No, not at all. But even if they were, does that mean that justice, it doesn't matter somehow that you
so if you're indigent, you can stalk and harass, and you can violate court orders, you can defame people if you're poor. Is that how it works? Because I don't think that's how it works. I'm so disappointed in this judge. I really am. I'm so disappointed in him. I think he has been terrible, and I hope he turns it around.
I think he was given plenty of examples of how Bruce acts and reacts. He called him out. Remember Gainesville to Gainesville?
Yeah, just be fair. Right? Nobody wants you to make all your decisions, for the plaintiff. Just be fair. You haven't been fair. You've been very biased. You've been very biased towards the defendants because they're poor and they're indigent. And you've even said those sorts of things, which
it's even more than that. Like if there's a problem seen in this, there's been reversible error committed in the case, because the judge he's said and done some things that, I mean, they're crazy. Like when you look, even the lawyer thing that went on with the federal case too, with that, it never we're not supposed to do this. We don't have the funds, but I'm going to take these learning funds and I'm going to see if I can get somebody that will represent what? I've never heard of this kind of stuff ever.
Yeah, I looked it up, and it can happen.
Can happen,
but it's not.
That doesn't mean it does happen.
Yeah, it's not very usual. But even with the court,
they fired the thing is, though, on paper, I don't give a shit how it reads or looks. They fired their representation.
Him. And they had a pro bono, allegedly, according to Bruce, a pro bono free attorney, and then you go and the judge gives them funds to get a new attorney, offers bench funds. What? They fired their free attorney. Why should they get anything from the court?
This disgusts me. This whole fucking thing disgusts me. Anyway, I'll rant for hours. Let me read this. So the order here, we'll do it in pages. You can have the second one if you want.
All right.
In their answers, so the defendants asserted 3 counterclaims against the plaintiff. Now, remember, we've gone over those extensively, but it's essentially a revisit of their 2 cases. We have thumbnail, trespass, 5 slapped together right there. So, defendants later moved to voluntarily dismiss 2 of those counterclaims, and yeah, that's the way it went. Remember, they decided they filed them, then they wanted to dismiss counts 2 and 3, tried to keep 1. Now they're trying to dismiss 1. So that's where we're at. So that was in document 111, they tried to dismiss 2 and 3. Plaintiff did not oppose dismissal of those 2 counterclaims. Of course not. Thus, the court granted the unopposed motion and dismissed counts 2 and 3 of the defendant's counterclaim. That would be Doc 121. So defendants have subsequently moved to voluntarily dismiss the remaining counterclaim, which that would be count 1. That would be in Doc 150 and 151 for anyone keeping. 1 second. Hey, what's up today?
What's that?
What was that? What's that?
What's that?
She leaned back into it like, what's that?
I didn't say what's up like that.
You did like that. You were like, what?
Money.
Yep, that is.
Is that your money?
Huh?
Are you in your live stream?
I feel like any money that comes up is Like
Fine.
your money too, you know?
It's my money.
It's your money now, I see.
Yeah, because I'm in the election.
Because you're what?
I'm in the election.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, hey, give me 5. You're gonna we're reading documents though. Okay. So you're gonna have to go upstairs.
Hey.
You can do a live stream with me this weekend though, if you want to. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do that this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll go upstairs.
My shirt is red because I sell milk while they might always dip it in milk.
I see that.
Yeah, because Oreos are so good.
Oreos are good.
Do you like Oreos?
I do like Oreos.
What's your favorite part about the Oreos?
When they go into my mouth and I'm like,
No, about the part. Like I see on the cook.
Oh. Hey, the Floofy Cat, by the way, says hi.
Hi, Fluffy Cat. I got Fluffy Cat, and then he sent me $2. I know I got a Fluffy Cat.
Yeah, I know that Floofy Cat's nice there. Oh man, look, Lori.
$10.
Yeah, since you didn't say thank you. Yo, you gotta say thank you.
Thank you, Fluffy Cat, and thank you.
That was Lori. Say thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Thank
Hey,
you,
look.
Fluffy Cat. I got to say thank you to Fluffy Cat.
How much is that, dude?
$2.
$2. That's Wheezy Wheels. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that, man. Now
What's your favorite part about the milky milk?
I do not like milk.
What's your favorite part about the Oreo? The icing or the cookie?
I like the cookie part.
So Megan said she likes the cookie part. I like the ice. I kind of like it all together, though. To be honest,
I like it together. Yeah, I
What
like
about
it
the
together.
icing, though?
Yeah, the icing. I like. What do you like?
I like icing. I always licked it every single time.
Oh yeah.
She takes your Oreos apart. I like to dunk them. I like to dunk them in milk.
So you dunk them? Yeah, she came down here. Her shirt, it's got like wet streak down the front. That's what she's telling me about it. She's like, that's
Oreo.
yeah, that was some Oreo mishap apparently.
Oreo.
Yeah.
Oreo idea.
Hey, yeah, give me hugs. All right.
Oreo idea.
Yep.
Just tell them it's the same money for me.
I will tell them. Good Lord.
What
All right, hey, you're gonna have to. I may have to pause for a minute. If somebody doesn't want to leave, they want to be in the live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hold it down? For me?
Yes.
All right.
Speaking of Oreos, I like the vanilla Oreos. Those are the best. I don't know what it is about those vanilla Oreos, but I dig them. Oreo Puff cereal, Dark Mage says, I haven't tried that. I think my kids have tried that. They like that, the Oreo cereal. I've never tried it though. I bet that's good.
Love you. There we go. Sorry.
The chat was scolding me and telling me not to hit the button while you were gone.
Yeah, for real. Gotta be careful about those buttons. Woo, man. I know that was dangerous. I didn't realize I'd almost left you in a minefield there. You're like, what do I do? I'm lost. I'm so confused. He forgot you hit the button twice now.
Oh no. It'll be at least another 6 months before I hit the button again.
You say that, it'll be like 2 weeks. Oh, no. The one thing that sucked out all of that was that for some reason YouTube has had a problem, and I cannot retrieve the super chats from there. I can't go back and read them. Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks, because I know, people work hard. I realize, people are on fixed incomes and everything, and it can't be paid to speak. And it's definitely, I'm trying to rub that salt right into the wound.
I know you are. You're right. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it really, really deeply right now.
I'm working on it. I am. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows what you could have taken away from some poor,
some poor disabled indigent person.
I mean, in another world, in a fair, just society, that might even be harassment. Oh, wait. No. Oh, my God. It's funny. All right. Yeah. But anyway, folks, for real, that is true that it will not let me recover them. I don't know what it is, but if they do pop up, I will read them. I don't care how old they are. All right. Let's see. So with this, again, just to note, as a recap, they wanted to voluntarily dismiss the counterclaims. Plaintiff did not oppose them. Thus, the court granted the unopposed motion and dismissed counts 2 and 3 of the defendant's counterclaim. Now, the defendants have subsequently moved to voluntarily dismiss the remaining counterclaim, which is count 1. Now, plaintiff has responded in opposition to that motion. Yeah, it's like, no.
Mhm.
Now, although the issue has not been raised by the parties, the court's research has revealed.
Oh, really? Was it the court's research or was it mine, sir?
I wonder.
It's all right.
The
I'm willing to
courts.
give it to him. I'm willing to give it
they
to him.
can have it.
You want to take credit for the research, Judge? Go right ahead. But everybody knows what happened.
Megan's like, no. I am after this. When we read this file, like, I think I will pull up the counterclaim though, and mention what was there. It's been such a it's been such a long time since we've seen what's there. Now, all of this again, it's fresh. It matters again. So, although it has not been raised by the parties, the court's research has revealed a recent 11th Circuit decision that the court believes requires sua sponte and reconsider its prior order. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, granting the defendant's motion to voluntarily dismiss counts 2 and 3 of their counterclaims under Rule 41A2 was obviously a mistake. See, Eurobor BV, Grafova, this is a different one than what I found, but it probably was citing the same. I bet it was citing the same
I bet
thing.
it cites the same thing, though.
The court stated that a party could not move under Rule 41A2 to voluntarily dismiss fewer than all the claims or counterclaims that the party had brought against an opposing party. And look at how lucky you are, chat. You're the most well-informed chat on earth. You knew this before he did.
Yeah, it is actually quite amazing. We're talking about it, and for real, what's so funny is that the stuff we talk about on our shows, you have this nest of vipers that likes to call themselves lawyers on the other side of it, and they say, "Oh, these people don't know." Really? Really? What more do you need? I mean, again, we can't call everything right because there are going to be things here and there. But my God, look at this. Even before the court, when the court has to reverse on something again that was noted.
The court has to
before.
reverse its own ruling because it got it wrong. And what were we talking about yesterday? This exact same thing. So they cannot voluntarily dismiss. They have to voluntarily dismiss. They cannot, fewer than all, the claims or counterclaims that the party had brought against an opposing party. Instead, the court explained that a party may only use Rule 41A2 to voluntarily dismiss all claims or all counterclaims against the opposing party. Based on Eurobor BV, the court will vacate its prior order,
Whoopsie.
Doc 121, which we went over last night, by the way. We're like, hey, let's bring that up. Let's go over that. What was the order? What did he say? Oh, he did do it. And then I said, well, gee, I think he made a mistake. And I think Randy could have fought this because it says right here, 41 Rule 41 says you can't do this. Granting defendants' unopposed motion to dismiss counts 2 and 3 of their counterclaims and deny that motion without prejudice. So he's overturning his own ruling. So they no longer are dismissed. Counts 2 and 3 are back in.
That's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing to see. Yeah, so it's all in there. And again, they're locked into a really bad situation here because this is in-game time. They all their big plan was to go in to put together some massive filing and try to hit Jeremy Hales with it. They've been talking about this for a while now, but they screwed up. They absolutely
because now they're in a catch-22. If they file to dismiss all of their, because here's what he wants them to do. He wants them to file a single motion to voluntarily dismiss all of the counts at once. And if they do that, again, it's checkmate. They can never refile it again. If they don't do it, the judge is poised to rule on it, which means they're probably going to lose and be sanctioned. So now,
They know it's a loser of it. They've already set themselves up to get rid of it. You know, when we talk about ideas that are put in a judge's head too, you know, regardless about merits or lack thereof, these are meritless claims anyway. I mean, the idea of the thumbnail litigation is ridiculous.
And they've told the judge this basically by saying we want to dismiss it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're already telegraphing to the court. They know it's going to be dismissed. They know they're going to lose, which is why they want to dismiss them. If they thought they were going to win, would they dismiss the claims? No.
The way they've been playing this. I mean, it's so ridiculous, you know.
So the footnote is interesting here too. It's really good. Although the court likely could combine the two motions and construe them together as a single motion to dismiss all the counterclaims, out of an abundance of caution and to ensure the docket is clear, the court believes it's best to have defendants refile a single motion to dismiss all the counterclaims.
What that tells me, Judge, by the way, is that you're worried about error. And the thing is,
He's worried about appeal.
Yeah, and you've already created appealable issues. I'm telling you, like the way that he has addressed them, there's certain times that he's talked about LMNOP and JC to the point I very much believe that you could win and get any type of a negative ruling appeal or reversed, rather. I think you could. I think you have a good chance of it.
I agree. It's this footnote means I'm worried about appeal.
Yeah, I'm worried about appeal. That's exactly what it says.
That's what it means. I'm very worried I'll get overturned on appeal on this.
See, people think
I fucked up. I made a big mistake. I've made a huge mistake. Literally, the ruling says the opposite of what I allowed in my courtroom, so I can't allow it anymore.
And there have been other ones. I mean, again, he's played loose with these people. Again, I think, like Megan was saying, he bought into some buzzwords. And unfortunately, as a judge, you're not supposed to do that. You are not.
He needs to take his personal feelings out of this. He needs to take his personal biases out of this and just follow the law. Judge, that's all anybody wants you to do. Follow the law and hold everybody to the same law, to the same standard.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. You are not holding Lynette Preston and John Cook to the same standard as everybody else. Just because they fired their free attorney and now are pro se, you cannot be biased toward them because of their, bad lawyering, their bad legal decisions. That is their problem, and that the law is supposed to be blind. Justice is supposed to be blind. You cannot look at her and be like, oh, but I feel sorry for her, so I'll give her another extension. She can have another extension and another extension and another. Fuck that.
Yeah, at some point, this has become quite this circus, quite the trap, especially when you have this guy who, again, he got to take himself out. But before he did, he made a mockery of the court, bragging about how his greatest thing, it wasn't one of his wins in there. No, it was that he delayed this court for 5 months.
5 months.
He brags about it.
He said that in writing.
Oh, yeah. Easily produced.
He brags that he delayed this court proceeding for 5 months. That's the thing that the judge says he hates. He doesn't like lawyers delaying things. Yeah, well, your favorite lawyer that you still haven't sanctioned, who gave you the finger, he bragged about delaying your court case for 5 months.
Yep, actually, right here. Again, just to make sure that is 100% recorded on that. For no money. I have since March completely changed the landscape. Litigation between Hales and my clients stopped his federal lawsuit for 5 months. But it's a big move. It's his big move. Again, when he appeared too, he lied about being pro bono. You find out that it was actually on contingency. Lied to the court about that. Nothing happens.
And then Jeremy is the one who is prejudiced because he is the one who has to pay for all of these filings. You don't make Lynette pay for anything because she's indigent. She can file. Everything she files is free. It is not free for Jeremy to file in this case. So do you see what they did to him? they
Yeah,
knew
they papered the
that
case.
Yep. So that he had to respond to all this bullshit and he had to pay every single time that he had to respond. But she doesn't. She doesn't have to pay for anything. How does the judge not see that? How did he not see what the game was there?
By the way, today we have 3,200 of you plus. Thank you for appearing today. It has been this ride keeps getting crazier every day. I feel like I feel like we've descended into lunacy. But if you tell people we are live, it'd be much appreciated. If you also check your subscription tab, see if you are subscribed. And if you'd like to go further, if you'd like to help out the channel because, well, we love to rub up against ye old breadsticks, that would be. It's funny. I'm telling you, last night watching the ecosystem, they have gotten really desperate. You know, they couldn't pull 400 viewers last night. That was nuts, man. Looking at the numbers, you would think that. And,
75% of them are this audience right here, just trying to hear what they're doing.
I mean, even then, they're like, oh, my God. And, we're talking about somebody that they finally pulled out all the stops. They sued, or at least have said they're suing. They brought them the motions anyway. This is God, so many people understand this is a loser of a case. I mean, there is no way. I will happily, like I said, hit them with monetary fucking damages. First of all, again, lawyer fees, anything you have to file if we get to that point. But I did come up with something. I'm not going to say yet, though. But I did actually figure out another way to approach damages. Remind me to tell you about that. I actually figured out an approach for damages.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to say right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about it. Yeah, I'll tell you about it off the air. That way it becomes. But I think it's a good one. I think it's a winner of one. To be honest, I think there's a way to add damages.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you always run into that. I've had a few people write and ask about, with her going after people, Facebook doxing and more, and people have asked about suing, and I'm like, first of all, I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but when you consider any lawsuit, the way I would say is, what are your damages? Because that's what a court's going to ask. So, I mean, if you're looking at something, can I sue? Yes, absolutely. You can sue for anything you want. Can you win? Well, what are your damages? But
right.
This person, they've done some nasty stuff, but I think they screwed up on something. They don't realize it. So anyway, let's hit the rest of this document. Plaintiff will then be afforded an opportunity to respond to such motion to voluntarily dismiss all the counterclaims. Accordingly, it's ordered that number one, the prior order, that would be Doc 121, granting defendants unopposed motion to dismiss 2 and 3 of their claim, it is vacated. You don't see stuff like this happen, by the way. Judges typically do not go back on their own rulings like that.
No, and not sua sponte either. That's pretty rare. It is pretty rare of his own accord. And I'm telling you, this did not come in a vacuum. This did not come out of nowhere. It's just not a coincidence that I brought it up last night that, I think he made a mistake. I don't think they can do this.
Though. Well, when you looked at it, the like I said, it's funny because ecosystem weirdos. I watched their chatter, and their chatter was like, Megan doesn't know what she's talking about. Really? Oh, is that right now? Sounds like maybe we're a little bit better at this than maybe they know. I mean, law is just knowing certain rules.
A little bit.
Well, law is just knowing certain rules and being able to research.
Well, and being able to read them and understand them. Yeah. That's all it is. And Randy's motion was very well written, and it brought up things that led me right to that particular rule because it was all about 41.
You're like,
it was all about Rule 41, and I was reading about Rule 41, and that's how I found it. And I was like, what the heck? So it's amazing. I love and I told you last night, this is why I do this. I love doing it. I love doing these cases because I always learn something.
It's also a big puzzle.
Right. It's a
out.
big puzzle. And I always learn something, and there's always that aha moment. It's almost like the Fiverr moment, where I'm like, oh my God, look what I just found. And it's law is like that because it's very complicated because there's so many rules and there's just so many different ways to interpret things. But I knew I had hit on something big last night, which was why I was talking so fast. I got so many emails from people.
Excited.
Yeah, I had so many emails from people who were like, Tug left for a while because he couldn't take how fast you were talking. But I get excited. When I get excited, I talk really fast because my brain starts working really fast and I can't get the words out fast enough.
I do the same thing. It's just you can't, I
can't tell when you're talking fast. It just sounds normal.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was one of those moments yesterday when I texted Tug before the show. I was like, holy shit, wait till you see what I found.
Oh, you were excited. It was so funny. As you were like, oh my God.
Right?
I get it though. I get that way sometimes. Lord, some of the stuff we find is amazing. I like I said, I love this case. I hate that Jeremy deals with it, but my God, as far as keeping up with it and stuff, I love keeping up with this case. It is so wild.
It's very interesting. And, frankly, the judge's staff and everybody working on this case, they should be enjoying it too. I know they're not happy with the workload, but come on, guys, we're learning a lot here, aren't we? Aren't we? Those of you in the judge's courtroom, is it the clerks? Is it the assistant? I don't know who's listening, but come on, we're having fun here, aren't we? There's a lot to learn. And there's a lot to pay attention to. And if this is, this should be on the complex docket, by the way. It is a complex case, but it's a really important case. And I would like the judge to start treating it that way. I feel like he doesn't treat this case as if it's important. He thinks that this is some kind of online YouTube drama.
They all do that,
They all do that.
When did we sign up? This is what pisses me off in law. I want to bend about this for a second. When did we, because we picked up the microphones, give away our rights? We have the right not to have people burn our fucking lives to the ground.
Right.
Because, again, media doesn't get treated this way.
Mm-mm.
No, it's only this new wave of, because, they're trying to hold on to the old guard, the old boys club, and they figure that every one of us, we get what's coming to us. And that's a bunch of bullshit, Wait, again, people, if they treated a regular business like this, if they went out and treated a regular citizen, or even beyond that, if they treated a celebrity, if they want to go with public figure, fine. Let's say public figure. If they treated a celebrity, politician, newscaster, whatever, like Jeremy Hales has been treated, they would do something about it.
They would do something. But I'm tired of it too. I'm really tired of being treated like second-class citizens because we have YouTube channels. Our lives are important, whether or not we do what you think is worthwhile. And I don't think this judge has taken this case seriously until now. And maybe he will. Maybe he will start taking it seriously. But he's not. He doesn't appear to take this seriously. And it is serious. It is Jeremy's life. Jeremy Hales has built something really amazing on YouTube, something very rare. 700,000 followers. Very rare.
You realize to get the statistics on it, people, I don't think, get how rare that is. After 300,000 subscribers, you are more likely to get drafted into the NBA than you are to hit 300,000 subscribers.
It is really rare and it's special. And he built something really cool. And there are people out there who are trying to destroy everything that he has built. And those same people would turn around and do it to us in a second. And that's why this case matters. It matters that Jeremy stood up and said, not this time. We've seen people like this do this to other people and never had to face anything like this, never had to face court. And it's almost like it's a wild west on YouTube where people will do this to you and hunt your channel, and they'll dog your every move.
Dude, we just had a lady that ran a fox. I don't know if you've seen this. That's trending.
Oh, I
today.
heard about it.
Yeah, she runs a fox rescue, and she was getting a bunch of. I was reading through some of the stuff because I was curious. When people say harassed, I'm curious what that means.
Right.
Reading through it, people were making up fake things about what she did or didn't do with animals, how she allowed them to be harmed and stuff. Well, I'm going to say unalived herself, and it's terrible. I mean, that happens way too often, and law enforcement, they'll do nothing. We've seen it happen before. It makes a dent for one day, maybe a week if it's big enough, but then it just goes away.
Yeah, it's horrible. And there are people out there who want that outcome. That's what they want to see. That's how sick it is. And I don't doubt for 1 second that some of those people are in this case that want that outcome for Jeremy Hales. They've said it out loud. They have talked about taking him out. Yep. They have talked about hiring a hitman. They have talked about going to jail for life.
So that's wild.
Feeding him to alligators.
I think the system has also failed on the side of protective order, because protective order, even though he's got a protective order, sure, but what's it done for him? I mean, so far, what has it done for him?
Nothing. They don't listen to it. They continue to do what they do.
It blows my mind when you see it. They recruit all of these crazy people in, and they figure, hey, if there's going to be some blowback, it won't be that bad. This is wild to me. Anyway, so part 2. Defendants' motion to dismiss 2 and 3 of their counterclaims denied without prejudice. Again, note, without prejudice. So can refile. Defendants' motion to dismiss 1 counterclaims denied without prejudice. If defendants desire voluntary dismissal of 1, 2, and 3, they shall file within 14 days a motion to dismiss all counterclaims. And they note with a footnote here, the court previously ordered defendants to respond to plaintiff's motion to dismiss count 1 of the counterclaims by June 26. It appears that defendants intend their motion to voluntarily dismiss count 1 to be their response to plaintiff's motion. But to the extent defendants wish to offer a substantive response to the arguments raised in plaintiff's motion, they'll have 14 days from today to do so. So we got the 14-day. That's number 5. Yep. And so it is ordered. Now, that is a wild one. Again, if you are wondering, by the way, what the counts were that were raised, what was there and what were they trying to make stick? Now, count 1 is one of the hardest ones to say. We've actually talked about count 1 before. The intentional infliction of emotional distress. That is a beast and a half to try to make work.
Yeah. It is. I've talked about this before. I covered the Maya Kowalski case, and her emotional distress didn't count. And I mean, that kid was held, she was kidnapped from her family, held for 7 days and tortured in a hospital. And the PTSD that she suffered didn't count as intentional inflict. They drove her mother to unalive herself. It didn't count. That didn't stick. The intentional infliction of emotional distress in that case didn't stick. No way does this stick.
No, it's very difficult to make that stick. So
sorry, I had a kid raid and they left my door open. Hold on, I'll be back.
No problem. So I mean, you have that, and again, remember this count anyway. If the reason they want this dismissed, of course they want to file it in some new litigation that's going to come forward. But beyond that, they also want to do that because this is a terrible filing. And when you get down to it, this work is awful. I mean, of course, they wanted the YouTube sphere. Remember, they were pushing polyflop. So that's why it comes up over and over in this. God, but I mean, this is so terribly written. The judge, I still haven't forgotten the judge saying, essentially, you remember Randy got sanctioned because of this. It was because they come up with this conspiracy here where they're noting. I mean, again, you can't have a conspiracy.
Look at number 3, the plaintiff's counsel. That number? Mentioning Randy, and then Randy saying, well, I'm not a part of this, so I can dismiss it because they never named me as a party. And hang on one second.
Well,
these kids, they're just going in and out of my room tonight. They're going to get it. Like,
I guess
the next one that gets in here is going to be in trouble.
I wonder if the judge should bring his checkbook, since Randy essentially got sanctioned because the judge was saying, "Oh no, I'll handle this. You can trust me to do it. You don't need to file about everything." Well, apparently you fucking did, because you had to go back and reverse one of your own decisions. So apparently, even that, I mean, that's egotistical in such a way. When you think about it, no, I will catch all problems. Well, you didn't. You didn't catch it. You let them get through.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. Like him saying, well, you don't have to respond to everything. Yeah, you kind of do. This is court. And when they file something, you have to answer it. And getting sanctioned for answering a filing, I don't think that that's okay. I especially not if he's not going to treat both of them equally. And he didn't. He said he was going to. He said the order is sitting on his desk. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, Judge. I don't believe you anymore. I think that you're avoiding sanctioning Bruce. And I don't know why. Have you looked at his record? Have you looked at his disciplinary history in Connecticut? Why don't you check that out? Why don't you Google his name? Those of you listening from Judge Blytho's office, Google Bruce Matskin's name. Just find all of his whiny articles that he complains about judges being corrupt who are just doing their jobs, and all the disciplinary history of him going after witnesses, harassing the bar. Go check that out.
Talking about going after witnesses. Look up the quote unquote just a reporter that he brought into this case. The one that was mentioned for the sanction stuff. Look him up. I'll spell it for you. LETHMANN. Look up him and conviction.
Except it's LUTH.
Whatever. Paint chips. Look up fucking paint chips. It's
LUTHMANN.
Look up fat lawyer that look up fat lawyer Game of Thrones. I wonder if that actually, let's see, fat lawyer Game of Thrones. Let me see what happens.
Try it.
I'm going to now. I've got to do that now. Fat lawyer.
I mean, this guy was challenging other lawyers to a battle of a duel to the death or something instead of going to court. He's a clown. Not only that, he's a felon. He's a hired gun. People hire him to come and harass people in lawsuits. And Matskin did this. He brought this guy in, and he knew it because Tug's got an email that shows he knew it, because Tug told him, hey, do you know that this guy you brought in went to jail for 4 years for extortion and fraud and kidnapping and all this stuff? Like, you can't say you didn't know this. And he didn't stop. Bruce
no, he didn't stop. I messaged him myself. What did he do instead? He tried to sick his little attack dogs on me.
Yeah, he copied them.
Yeah, he stuck him in the message. And this guy goes, he made sure to respond with doxing threats and more. What a piece of garbage. I mean, what a piece of garbage. Hey, let me grab something real quick. I've got to grab a cord. It'll just take me a second.
All right. Please hold. Tug is getting a cord. He will be right back with the chat as soon as he can. Thank you for your patience. The host is getting a new cord.
All right, there we go. I'm back. I had my chat window, aka my phone, was starting to die. So I was like, oh no. I had to give my charging cord to one of the kids. They were like, my tablet or something. I don't remember. He's dying. I can't find my cord, Dad.
My tablet died. My tablet didn't die.
Exactly. I was like, not your tablet, no. So here's count one, though, as we were saying. This, again, that was the one they tried to hold on to. I think they wanted to hold on to it for as long as possible, too, because they wanted to show off. They wanted to be able to go back and say, look at this conspiracy. Look at us point it out. You know, it's just a little showpiece. But really, and again, because they're all so idiots. But count 2 and 3. So this is what we're talking about. With count 2, this is the thumbnail case. So we were talking about, again, well, Megan was talking last night about 2 and done. There you go. This is the thumbnail case, which they dismissed. Then they brought it over here.
And remember what we read last night. It doesn't have to be exact. If it is the same core facts, like this 540.08, which is what the entire thumbnail was about.
I mean, that is exact to me.
It's exact, but if it's the same core facts plus anything you could have brought up in it, anything hypothetically you could have brought up, you can't ever file again.
What a math, man.
That's the part of the rule that really gets me. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So if you didn't think of it the first time, but you come up with some novel cause of action, again, you're shit out of luck.
Exactly. Ecosystem. You earned this one. You really earned this one. The ostrich is pissed, you know?
The ostrich is pissed.
They really earned the ostrich. It actually earned here we go. Let's fight it. We're winning today. Megan, we're winning today.
We're winning. We're winning.
Yes, I'm proud of us today. But yeah, I mean, this is the thumbnail case, like 100%.
Yep.
You know, same argument, everything. And then this is the trespass 5 case right here. That's where they were saying invasion of privacy. Yep. And they also, I mean, you could blend this off of, it's kind of a blend.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So this is the second time they've dismissed that.
Yeah.
Because they dismissed it in the state case too. So this will be, if they file now in 14 days a motion to dismiss this, that will be the 2 dismissal rule on the trespass 5 too.
And this judge, the way he wrote this out, he sounds like he wants to dismiss, because it's a garbage lawsuit. I mean, it is. You know, they have a no winner here, and if they freaking dismiss again, oopsie, you know, big oopsie.
Well,
but they need to.
They dismiss a second time, it's adjudicated on them. It's as if you had an adjudication on the merits. It's res judicata. It applies. It means it's already been litigated and not in your favor.
That's because you have people out
I'm
here.
not telling them anything that they're not good, that it's too late. They can't get out of it now.
They walk themselves into a trap here. And it's funny because it's garbage either way it goes. But it's funny because, again, their big master plan, you got to think about this too. This just shows the bungling and ineptitude on that side with quote unquote lawyers. You know? Oh my God. I'm very proud of them because they keep walking themselves into messes that
I agree. And Richard Thornton, you're right. At this point, the second dismissal is vacated. Thus, it's only been dismissed once. That's right. Now it's technically only been dismissed once, but they have a choice right now. They can either file to dismiss all 3 claims or go forward with these claims.
With a judge they've already said.
And frankly, I hope he does it. I hope they go forward.
Yeah.
Let this be. I want it adjudicated. I want it adjudicated on the merits. That's what you really want. And I'm sure that's what Jeremy wants.
Yeah, it's a garbage lawsuit. I mean, again, they're trying to say stuff that's already been decided. We've gone over the merits of this. I'm not going to, go on a rant again. But 540.08. I mean, when you think about it, what they're trying to pull here, they're trying to essentially say, well, anything that the media covers out there, you got to have permission for it. No, you fucking don't. You know, if something, again, is public interest, if it does have some type of reasoning the public would want to know about it, then you can. And you can use somebody's name involved in something. You can use their image as well. You know, again, do you think the media, that's why there's already established case law?
There's established exceptions for news and news programs, podcasts, YouTube, anything to do with news is already in the law as an exception, and he completely skips right over that, and that is the argument. There is no getting around it. It's already been litigated. It's a loser of a counterclaim. It will lose.
And they're terribly written. I mean, the way that they put this together, it looked like basically a space holder, you know. It was like it's like sticking a doorstop in or something. It's terribly done. Like when I read that, I was like, is this it? I mean, again, count 3. This is it? Is this what you had to say? You know, wow, the image there, I don't want anybody using it because you know, it's intended to mock. You're allowed to mock people. Humiliate if you feel humiliate again, you know. Wow, we've already talked about that. We've actually had a judge talk about that, you know. That doesn't work out. They should have known better, but oh well. I guess they're going to learn the hard way.
Well, they listened to bad legal advice, and now they are stuck. They're stuck. They only have 2 choices, and both choices lead them to a big loss.
I want to read something else today, too.
It's going to be epic. I really do want them to not dismiss it, and I want it to go forward on the merits. I want a ruling. I want I want a ruling from the judge smacking the shit out of this.
Yes, it should go forward on merits. I mean, that's what you really want. Because
that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, this is a garbage filing. You know what's amazing, too, is that, here, let me pull this up here. Every time we go forward with something, you know, we talk about, well, about that information or, you know, about that posting or filing, we get more. You know, like with this. Now, people, I want you to just look at this, first of all. This was posted. I have not refreshed in case it disappears. So the hours are off. This has been up here over a day. I leave it up here. You know, like I said, I've already archived it, but I always leave one up until like if the computer errors out or the power goes out, I don't lose it that way. But otherwise, it just sits here. But look at this. And look at this insanity.
Oh my God.
Look how much of it there is. I mean, this is somebody, I mean, good Lord, you know, and they lie. I mean, the most amazing thing about this stuff is they don't just post more and more evidence all the time, but they lie. You know, I'm actually to the point where I think Lynette Preston starting to understand these people have taken the case away from her. You know, they've taken the money away from her.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. So, yeah. Okay. So again, I always want to ask, like, what happened in the memorial? What happened to all this other, the grifts? Well, there's a new grift. Guess what the new grift is?
Is it the Mary grift?
It's Mary.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Okay. So a couple of weeks ago,
Mary.
Remember when I was saying a few weeks back when Miltoast wanted to interview her? And now I was like, man, right there. She's going to become the new grift. And
it's happening. Now they're talking about cleaning up her yard. Oh, we're going to clean it. Well, does it take, I hope that they don't ask the chat for money to go clean up her yard. It doesn't take any money. Just a couple of people with some rakes and some clippers and a lawnmower. You don't need money to go clean somebody's yard. But we'll see. I bet they'll start grifting on. Now they're going to help Mary. What happened to LMNOP and HG? You're done with them now. You're done.
Well, they made it, you know, they've been able to take this and make it about themselves now. You notice they talk about, it's really all about them. It's become less about her, and I think she's starting to notice it because those that money she was seeing before, she's not seeing that money like she was then. That's a lot of money that she's no longer getting.
Right. That was a lot of money coming in. Even David the donor appears to have slowed down with his. I mean, he still sends.
Maybe he sees a problem with that. Well, he's been back in his favorites, which is, I mean, again, it's his money, whatever. But
he's not spending the kind of money he used to, and I'm glad. I think it's a real waste of your money, David. I don't think they're doing with it what they say they're doing.
If you're trying to say, if you're giving stuff, well, we know it's not because they've. I saved 2.
What's with the barn dominium?
They said he was a liar about the amount of money. Marla came out, and then under one of the alt accounts, which we know who's been posting under those alt accounts, one of the alt accounts came out and attacked him too. So they're starting to go. They're targeting him, and they're calling him a lie. Let me pull up that one for Marla. Let me find it real fast. I mean, she's calling him a liar about the amount of money, even though we had 2L confirm the amount of money. It blows my mind. So check this out here. She posted this on Facebook so I can find it easier. So remember these statements here about the 56K and donations and whatnot, right? From back when, and we had again 2L1 confirmed that. Well, you got Marla out here talking about the damage control stuff, but also saying about this was the post. And then she came back in and she's like, oh yeah, by the way, those totals, they don't come to that. Really? Because they established, so you're saying he's a liar, I mean, they keep spitting on this dude. They keep spitting on his reputation. It's amazing to me.
It is.
And essentially, they're calling him a liar anyway, because when he said that he had some kind of issue with what went on, he didn't feel that things were being used correctly. It was supposed to be used for X, Y, Z. Well, now they're, no, it's all good to go. It never was a problem. So he's a fucking liar there too, I guess. Amazing. Oh, I love it. Anyway, so it amazes me. And look, at what point do you finally get sick of that and you say, I'm not going to be treated like somebody's, like their piggy bank or their wallet. They're not going to just get to crap on me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They also were saying that there was no money taken for specific items, like it was donated for like a playroom, or a play area, and that was specifically noted with certain money. There's super chats of it, and it was given by him. So that again, they're calling him liar yet again, and they did not create that. Top of it, so somebody together a very good statement about this huge post that I pulled up. They were noting the issues with it, how the lies about when the page was created and more. And I love this because when she goes out and she makes these statements, well, let's read over it and then we'll look at a little debunking. This thing is a long post. I apologize, but it is still, it's crazy.
I'm girding my loins for it.
You're feeling it. You ready? You hold on.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I need to stretch. Hold on. I gotta stretch for this. Ready? Okay, chat. Everybody do a couple of shoulder rolls. Maybe some stretch to the left, stretch to the right. This is gonna be a long one. We're gonna need something. Get our blood flowing a little bit. Maybe some arm circles. Yeah. All right. I feel a little better now.
Okay, here we go. All right. I have several things. I'm not going to do the voice too long. I gotta keep talking.
I know the last time I did that, I had a sore throat for 2 days.
I mean, Gord. I mean, this is a lot, but it is interesting. So I have several things to set straight. John is not killed a bunch of dogs.
Sorry.
Johnny's got
Oh, this is about the dog killing. Oh, this is
part of
great.
it. But he has taken out 2 pit bulls, one of which was in my chicken coop with all my dead chickens.
Were those the bald chickens?
Wait, now all your chickens are dead? That's kind of a crazy admission.
Well, they were balding and dying, so it's probably a mercy.
I don't think this is the first time that there's been some crazy thing mentioned about something getting into the chicken coop. I'll have to look back, but I think that's actually come back before. I seem to remember something. But
those poor chickens were so mangy. Oh my God. Remember the chicken pictures?
Oh, yeah. I do.
the balding chickens.
God, that's sad is what it is, to be honest.
It is sad.
Especially when you think this is supposed to be a rescue, you know?
I know.
Like, that's what really gets to me. Oh, by the way, you know, we were talking yesterday about catfishing with certain images not being enough.
Oh,
you know?
my God, yes.
Yeah, so I was looking up, like, I was trying to come up with different names to call it. Again, I like the idea of flea skinning, you know, instead of it's beyond catfish. It's applying the flea skin, you know. But I also liked it. Somebody wrote me and was like, the other day you called them dirt pixies, and I thought that was really funny. I was like, I don't remember saying that, but it was funny. Somebody suggested face leech. I thought that was pretty good too, and I liked the term gutter butte. I like that.
Gutter butte.
Yeah, they're gutter buttes. Yeah.
Did you see their new opening? Did you see their new
I
intro?
did. It's awful.
Oh, come on.
You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me with the what is Felicia thinking with the cartoons of the woman who's 30 years younger than her and thinner than she's ever been? Like, what is this? It is a catfishing scheme. I feel like we should call social catfish and be like, there are women like these really fatsos. There's butter twins trying to fool the internet that they're hot chicks talking about law.
I mean, God, that's what they're trying to do.
It's so bad.
It's insulting.
It's so bad. If all anyone ever sees are those cartoons, they're going to think that like they sort of look like that, I guess.
Well, they get it in their head, you know, and that does impact the amount of money people make. You know?
Yeah, with her cartoon tits up there, like are you kidding me?
So bizarre, man.
It's so bad and dishonest.
Oh, it's weird. I saw that. I did see the intro. I had not seen it, but I decided that last night's stream, I kept getting sent clips of it. And what I was saying, it was so insane as far as litigation. You know, I've been looking at this as how you approach litigation. Because again, regardless of whether or not I think somebody has brought a trash lawsuit against me, actually worse than that, it's worse than vexatious litigation. This is targeted. It's meant to harass, you know, and intimidate it. And I want to prove that. So last night's stream was so bad where they're pulling up again, you know, like I said at the beginning, let me pull these up just to make this point again while I'm talking about this. And then I'll pull this up again. But they were showing off how she had purchased different websites. Let's see. Here they are. Give me a second. God, I still have not gotten on my speed for clicking back yet. It still feels slow on it. Better, faster. But I mean, look at all these. You have, again, so these are everybody, you know, I need to drive this. I'm not complaining about this as just a move. This is, who cares? But what it does amount to is these are people that she's suing. She's saying are harassing her and more. So when you look, Jeremy Hales, she decided to take jeremybhales.com and redirect it to Hodunk Hillbillies. You know, and we're talking about, you've seen some of this stuff that's been attached to that. That's her trying to, again, harm business. Very much so. How can you not say that's aimed at his business? You have Megan Foxwriter picked up. MeganFoxwriter.com. Again, relink to that. Megan Fox is currently being sued by the person who did it. Same thing with Shizzy Wiznut. She's out here threatening to dox Shizzy Wiznut. They're going to go after him. She's trying to use the litigation as a way to go after his identity. Look what she's doing here. She's saying that he was threatening her family, by the way. She put in a filing with that with the courts. Then you have Just Jay. Again, yet again, she's going after him. I mean, God, but that was so bad last night that I decided I would go in and I would record that, for chords in case they decide to kick it out. And I saw that intro. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, this gets really funny.
All right, here we go. I have several things to set straight. John has not killed a bunch of dogs here on the property, but he has killed 2 pit bulls. One of which is in my chicken
bunch. Just
Yep.
2. Oh wait, there was the puppy too. Oh God.
And we were going to take out those other 2 dogs, but hey,
Yeah, and the chihuahuas that we were going to poison.
Remember those messages we saw where she was talking about the dog thing?
Yes.
This is another one of that, but it was in my chicken coop with all my dead chickens. Both dogs killed my ducks and chickens. What if my child would have walked outside? The dogs tasted blood.
Whose dogs were they?
Oh my God. And, well, they're those imaginary dogs, you run into sometimes.
Well, I want to know, were these just pit bulls roaming the neighborhood, or were they her dogs?
Oh no. We asked the sheriff.
I have a feeling that they might have been her dogs.
We asked
Weird,
the
she
sheriff,
doesn't
and
say
they
whose
said
dogs.
it's legal to protect your livestock and animals or kids. Or kids. I like how kids get the last
Kids
part.
get the last one, yeah.
Lower than the livestock.
Oh God.
We've never killed a cat ever. We even got one little female spayed and released her. What? Why would you do that? What are you talking about?
Why would you release her?
We just randomly spayed this cat. No,
and then just turned her loose in the wild.
What in the world? Stop believing lies. The dog was not owned by this Heather person. They had been dumped.
What does
I don't
that
even know what
mean?
this is about. I have no
Oh,
idea.
the dogs had been dumped.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
I don't even know who Heather. I don't know.
I don't know who Heather is.
Other
I don't want to
neighbors,
know either.
they've shot and killed stray dogs as well. Now, to answer more questions you've asked, my name at birth was Lynette Michelle.
Here we go with the names.
My mother and family called me Michelle or Mike or Mickey. My dad clearly wanted a boy because he called me Mike. I was never called Lynette by anyone in my childhood ever, not even at school. My mother's middle name was also Lynette. I'm sure that's why she named me it. Later in life, I changed my name due to my many different reasons. Many indeed.
Well, stage name. Many different reasons. Stripping.
And for many years, the name was Lacey Alexis, and my family called me Michelle. My friends and kids called me Lacey. One day, I drew very close to the Lord, and God talked to my heart, and He told me to be who I was born to be. The only way to do that was to take all 4 names.
Oh God.
God told me to take more names.
Okay.
God told me to take 4 names due to marriage and divorce and GED. What the shit?
What? How does the GED come into it?
How does it even matter with the GED?
How does that come into it?
Oh my God. You realize
And
that
also, how does marriage and divorce come into it? These are first names we're talking about.
Oh my God, this is amazing. So legally, my name is Lynette Michelle Lakesy Alestis. Well, yeah, how does that matter? That is a good question.
That doesn't marriage, divorce, or
Marriage and divorce for my first names.
For all her first names, like she changed her name, her first names when she got married and divorced. What?
I believe in divorcing myself from scruples and anything else but all my names. I will never separate from those. I will always be Michelle to my family and new friends, and Lacey to my kids and old friends, and anyone who chooses to call me by the name. Now you know. Not that it matters.
Why did she introduce herself? Why did she introduce herself to Jeremy Hales as Lynette?
I mean, this stuff is amazing. You got to admit that.
Why does she put Lynette Preston on court filings?
It's even better. Okay, so somebody put this together, and I love this. All right. So as a counter proposition, let's see this document. Somebody like
the chat. Who said that? Who said that in the chat? Where did it go? The famous GED, Steve Robillard, the famous GED defense.
Why did she leave out Mitch, by the way?
Mitch?
Apparently Mitch was part of it. Yeah, yeah.
God.
So my name is, she went by Michelle here. You know, here. She was known as Mikey, Mitch. Also here for Shara. You know, my name was given to me by my mother. Why she named me Lynette after her, but then called me Michelle. I never understand, but she did. I've never been called Lynette except for business purposes. I've been called Lacey. So they've got a Lacey spot in here. Here's another Lacey. Oh, here's a Ruby.
Oh, wait, Ruby?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, there's
right.
a Ruby.
All those people in Northport knew her as Ruby.
Yeah, here's another Ruby, by the way, you know, bunches with the Ruby. Here's the entire name. Here's a Lacey. And, you know, we continue on. But, I mean, you get the feel in there. It's like, wait, what? Oh, my God.
My name is Slim Lacey. That's hilarious.
Slim Lacey.
DTG.
Oh, my God. That would be an amazing song, Slim Lacey.
My name is Slim Lacey.
Oh my God.
Well, the real Slim Lacey, please stand up. Please stand up.
Oh my God. The real Slim Lacey.
Sometimes there are real gems in the chat, you know.
Oh, the chat is hilarious. There are some amazing folks out there.
You guys are so funny.
So also, I've never spoken about the case. What? Never spoken about the case or anything about court that I'm ordered not to talk about on anyone's channel. We've seen you in chats talking about the protective order and all kinds of shit. Again, third-party solicitation. I kept the screenshots myself, woman, so don't you lie to me. Oh, my God. And I won't on mine either. You're talking about it here.
Yeah, you're talking about it right now. You never shut up about it.
When I'm able to speak freely, you can bet your life you're going to hear from me and from John, I'm sure. So there you go again. Promises. Oh, we will run Jeremy into the ground, of course. You know. Mm-hmm. I would talk about my beautiful child wherever I feel I need to or want to. The way I'm dealing with all of this and keeping my sanity is by trying to live my life as normally as I can. The longer I'm quiet, the more crap that gets made up about us and her. Really, when we see you screaming through fences and shit, and you're like, we don't do anything.
Yeah, we never do anything. I've never said anything, any of these things he says. That's always she said. I've never.
That's why
I love everybody.
This is why I love this case. This is just one of the many reasons. Because I mean, the flagrant lies. They're not lies, they're flagrant lies that come up. The isolation that we're dealing with and the loneliness I'm dealing with is so hard. And I'm enjoying going on other YouTube channels to watch and get info. Huh? What info? And chit chat? Oh, you mean you mean you're sitting there and talking about the case that you're not talking about? Okay. And chit chat with other adults, except at the flea market. I'm not on any channels to talk
Wait a
about.
minute. Is she talking
What?
about the actual flea market or the
I think
fleas?
it seems like the fleas because she says with
She's
other
calling
adults.
them the fleas now.
That's what it seems like. I mean,
Wow.
look, I'm going to start here. I mean, this is a lot of sentence, but I'm going to start at other YouTube channels to watch and get info and just chit chat with other adults, except at the flea market. I'm not on any channels to talk about anything that get me in trouble. That's not about what? It's gotta be, because that doesn't make sense. She's talking about channels. So she says, except at the flea market, I'm not on any channels.
I know that she works at the flea market, but that's not the context here. That chat, I think she's talking about the fleas. She calls Fleece's channel the flea market.
I mean, that's the way it goes. Because again, this doesn't say, it's not talking about going and running
It's
into
not talking about the
flea
market.
Yeah, it's saying,
She's talking about going on YouTube channels,
Yeah.
except the flea market.
Well, that's how it is. So I think she's calling it the flea market. That's funny.
Oh wait, maybe she means chit-chatting with other adults.
But that's not what it's saying.
The only other time she can do that is at the flea market.
But that's not even close
It isn't
to
what
what
she
that
said.
said.
I know. But maybe that's what she means.
No, I'm not giving the benefit of any doubt. I'm taking her
She's
words
calling them
as
fleas.
they are. I'm taking them as they are. I mean, that's what it says. You know, I've been told to take her words as they come. You know, I'm not putting any words in her mouth.
She's calling them the flea market.
I do not want to try to decipher it. She's throwing a fit because she says people are making up stuff that she hasn't said. If she's quiet, you know, so the longer I'm quiet, gets made up about us and her. So I'm just going with her words. I simply want to just be normal like anyone else. Oh,
That's never going to happen, Lynette.
She is. That's such a lie.
You're never going to be normal.
It's because she doesn't want to. You know, again, like if she wanted this stuff to just go away, she would leave Hales alone. She wouldn't invite third parties in to harass him. And then, I mean, she has to go and join their channels and their chats to talk about what a monster he is and how when the protective order falls, then again, you see all the things that they say echoed coming from her. So, no. For a long time, in the beginning, I kept my mouth shut and did not defend myself. When did that happen? You know, I've seen it from the beginning, you know. And things got so crazy. There were so many lies made up about me, and so many CPS reports, and so many other reports, and things done to us, etc. Then I created a page to defend. This is another lie about, and only then did I do it. This is the same shit that we see another party doing right now. You know, they all want to give this revisionist history, and when they're doing it too. What they're doing is they're talking about Jeremy Hales. So while she's saying she doesn't talk about the case, she's quite heavily talking about the case. Somebody mentioned this, by the way. So check this out. Somebody created a document, and love to them, by the way. They do very good work. Give me 1 second here. Pull this wonderful document here. I love it when people make this easy where you could just pull it up and follow along, you know. So here's the debunking file. So LP started talking caca. That's not my word, caca. I like it. About the Grangers after Valentine's backdrop message to Zim on Facebook wall, February 2023. Then started caca with Jeremy Hales and George because Jeremy Hales said no to getting her donations. Plus, they were friends with the Grangers, and LP lost the election, but Madam Mayor won. So LP started her caca with Marla about Jeremy Hales, George, and Grangers were trying to take over the town. It wasn't until after the signs, that would be May 14th, 2023, and after John's Pew Pew incident, and again after the cease and desist, that would be, again, you have solid dates, that Jeremy Hales really started posting videos about what LP and JC were doing and saying. So her post saying that she then created a page only to defend and debunk. LOL. Indeed. Laughing my buttocks off. Laughing the cocos. It's BS because her page was started on December 25th, 2021. You can actually see when stuff was started up. See it there. You can also see this is the cease and desist letter, by the way. You can see OEO Pew Pew incident right here, which is wild when you look at that. And you see him pointing it, you know, and them being like, well, he points cameras at me.
Yeah, right. Like it's close at all.
They continue. We know her brain doesn't work. She said it herself. But all she has to do is look at the videos on What the Hale's YouTube to see from March 3rd, 2023 to May 13th, 2023. None of the videos were talking about her. So there was actually nothing about her at that time. You're going to go through and look. You can actually check the dates. Like they said, they give you all the video. I love this, by the way. So you actually have that spelled out. So her statement there, it's not only debunked, but the person who did that, they absolutely buried that statement. You got to love it. Props to you. So then they created and debunked the lies, never ever once to defame or slander or harass anyone. They also try to pretend that this stuff we got, you know, Shara actually put out. They try to pretend that stuff doesn't exist. You know, we're all right. So there are many witnesses that will say that many witnesses shit again. Same thing she likes to play. She did that to Jamie Starr Johnson, that will say, I never violated the Ohio order against me. Yeah. Who was there, by the way? Who else was there during the violations? She's also discussing, by the way, this is her talking about the Ohio order. Yet again, she's not supposed to.
Right.
She's bringing it up. It worked as I'd hoped. It calmed the storm. It debunked the lies and made it hard to keep the lies alive. What? What worked? Her creating the page? Is that what you said? I'm confused because she said, then I created a page and then she went to the Ohio order and then said it worked. I mean, if I'm following
the page, I think she means the page. I don't know. It's hard to to translate this. I need a Rosetta Stone for dummies.
I love it. I love if I say it enough. You'll be like the Rosetta Stone of stupid. That's what you say.
Yes, that's what I need.
Yeah, I love it. So it worked as I hoped. It calmed the storm, debunked. I ended up getting the Ohio order wrongfully and went quiet. And oh my gosh, it went crazy out there. And then Bruce came in to help us, and he saw Lisa's channel, and she told both sides of this.
Both sides?
When did that happen?
She has been doing nothing but defaming Jeremy Hales from the beginning.
Yeah.
When did she ever attempt to tell his side of anything?
This is her trying to she's trying to revise it because they want to deny the whole PR thing because they know they're in trouble with this stuff. It's all about damage control.
We've done a better job telling both sides because we read all the documents.
Yep.
We read all of I read Lynette's 300-page supplemental.
Oh, I remember reading it.
300 pages.
Yeah.
I went through on the channel. So nobody can accuse me of not telling her side.
Oh, what craziness. Those were amazing, actually, to read. I can't complain about those. It's some of the Bruce filings that are really shitty to read. It's like, I feel like I'm getting dumber reading these. But both sides able to debunk lies for us. For us? Wow, that's kind of that kind of says they're doing work for you. That's an interesting. Uh-huh. Again, not debunk lies, but debunk lies for us. Lisa recorded my answers, and
hey, that should be in Discovery.
that needs to be recorded my answers.
Lisa recorded her answer, so she has a recorded interview of Lynette talking about Jeremy Hales. That was asked for in Discovery.
Yep.
Look at how she admits what she did.
Communications. I mean, this is an admission to communications.
Yes.
This is an admission to more Discovery items that are out there. Remember, by the way, the tablet they said with all the Shara stuff that they said that they had as well, all this other stuff. There's a mountain of items that they admit to, but I like this admission. That's wild. In a way, it gave me my voice back. We all have the right to our feelings and opinions, and she has a right to run her channel as she sees fit. And I have a right. Now, this is all about her.
Wait, I just thought of something.
What's that?
She also admitted to creating that page, and she hasn't turned that over in
Discovery.
That's
true. That's fucking true.
Oh my God. We need to send this to Jeremy. Make sure Jeremy has this, because Randy might want to update his Discovery request.
Isn't it amazing?
Because look, here's proof. Here's proof right here. And this is why they tell you not to talk, Lynette. You get yourself in trouble. Here's proof that you have access to things you have not disclosed in Discovery. That's a problem, Lynette.
It means that she's been lying. You know, I mean, it 100% means that they have been dodging.
Kitty Ninja, what does it matter if she deleted the page? As you can see, it's right here. We have it.
Yeah,
so,
well, it doesn't matter if she's deleted a posting page or anything. First of all, I stand in truth. See, when they are deleting, they're actively doing it even now. And we know that because it's like this. All right, let me show you something here.
Jeremy says we have it and thousands more.
Yeah, indeed. I'm not surprised by that.
But Jeremy, do you see how she's admitting she has these things that you asked for in Discovery, and she hasn't turned them over?
Yeah, I didn't turn it over at all. Well, it's kind of like this. You know, she plays these games. All right, on this same page, if you can tell I haven't had a power outage in a hot minute because of this, where I have this pulled up. If I refresh this page right here, you can tell this is older, but when she was throwing her fit about 2L, taking her voice away, all of this has been deleted.
Yeah, but
this is all missing now.
We have it. And then we have evidence that she's been deleting it.
Yeah. I mean,
which is against the rules. You cannot dump evidence. You can't do that.
And they know this. They 100% know that they can't, and they do it anyway. But she's talking about her rights and her feelings. No. Right here, you're under a protective order. Protective order don't give a fuck about your feelings. You know? That's 100%. Right. You violated the law. You did all these terrible things to another human being, and that removes your ability to do certain things. So anyway, this is damage control about the 2L channel. You know, she has a right to run her channel as she sees fit, and I have a right to talk about myself and my life and my child as long as I don't speak about Cade or the litigants.
What?
Cade.
Who?
Who's Cade?
I don't know.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Lynette, if you think this stuff ghosts away, there's this wonderful thing it's always really fun. It's called an archive. Check this out. I want to show you. You know, this one was so long. Usually I just take screenshots of them, but this was so long. Look at that archive. Look at that. Is it beautiful?
Oh, it's beautiful. And the archive tells you it was posted, and yeah.
It's got when it was saved. It's got
when it was saved. It's beautiful. Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah.
I just got
the deleting is only hurting you. It's not helping you.
Oh man. I mean, Megan get a test, like between the screenshotting and stuff. I just moved over a pile of stuff out of my computer. It was insane the amount that came out of the computer. I've been waiting until I go through my phone. Oh my God. I've been dreading that. I've been like, well, I think I'm going to do a document dump out of my phone. Just anything that's related to this case. I'm going to go all the way back and just dump documents in because I haven't cleaned my phone out in a long time. So I think I'm going to go in and I'm going to pull it all. It's going to be wild.
Okay, the chat thinks maybe she meant case.
I don't speak about the case or the litigants. Maybe that's it. Or her mods.
And
but
her
it is
mods.
interesting she brought up
Who's
mods
her
in there.
mods?
She's talking about the 2L channel, her mods. So, I mean, why would you go case litigants mods? Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. And her have the right, as long as I don't speak about Cade or the litigants and her mods and her have a right to their feelings, as I said. And I felt I had a right to my opinion and my own words. So we have agreed to disagree. And I've chosen to talk to the world here on my own channel. Lisa is giving my child a Christmas she'll never forget in her life by accepting donations. By accept.
Okay. More admissions.
Yep.
So you got donations
you got money.
And a magical Christmas. So donations were given for a fence. Oh, yep. And they're
they're admitting money. So it was money.
So this is stuff you didn't report to the court.
Yep.
I see.
Yep, and it's a lot of money. It's not like a small amount. It definitely goes over those thresholds. I mean, we are talking about quite a bit of money has been thrown that way. Donations and setting up a magical Christmas. Donations were given for a fence to keep us private in our yard and to protect private in our yard. One layer of fence, by the way.
They can still see over.
It's so bizarre. And to protect HG from cameras, and Lisa made sure that the fence got put up. We're so grateful to her for the magical Christmas and the fence. And we're so thankful and grateful to all you that donated to those causes. Then there were the donations made toward the barn dominium, and an island was purchased. What? An island?
A kitchen island.
Kitchen island. And it was gorgeous, saved us hundreds of dollars, 2 toilets, and a water heater went out. So we asked Lisa if the money could cover it. And so she ordered a new one. So again, they're admitting that there is a fund set aside that's their money.
Yeah, that they're just taking from it.
They're trying to hide the money. They're telling it again, this needs to be presented to a court because she's telling you there is a fund out there that we have that has been donated that we're setting aside so we can play indigent. I'm sure Jeremy doesn't like giving his money to a fucking court either, but it is what it is, man. Then
God, keep reading. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I've read this. I've read it. It's amazing. Then we had a material list created and ordered all the lumber. So that's all here waiting. The last thing done was the taxes came due, and we didn't have it. We did not ask anybody to help us as I was trying to come up with it on her own, but Lisa heard about it and decided to pay them and reimburse herself from the donations.
What?
Oh, shit. So they paid out of the money so that's how the taxes got paid, Lisa, by the way.
She let everyone believe that she paid that.
Not just that. At first they played this game of the taxes just miraculously got paid from some mystery donor. That's what they went with. Because I remember different people, including like MacLab, for example. MacLab mentioned, I remember mailing this and saying, like, this got paid. Like, what's up? Like, where's this coming from? Some mystery donor did that. But they took it out of money that was not for that. Again, that
wasn't for taxes. Money. It was for barn dominium or whatever the hell else.
It's money for whatever they want to use it for because it's fucking being hidden for them. But God, man, That's so crazy. So they can't afford to live without money being given to them, folks, for donations. They figure like this is their hustle, because otherwise, if people aren't paying for them to live, they're like, fuck it, we don't have anything. That's wild. You know, and they're making thousands a month. We saw their income statements. They're making quite a bit of money. I mean, holy shit, they're making as much money as some people I know that, you know, they're working their entry level jobs and busting away. God, it's nuts. But John and I were very grateful and thankful for that. I was unaware that she had done it until John told me about it happening. When he's very tight, and we do our best. So this admission right here, I don't actually know. Was this mentioned publicly? Are we sure that the tax thing before this was mentioned public?
I don't know.
Because I remember it coming up as some mystery thing. And now I don't remember that ever being discussed before, unless like I said, I don't watch their show. So if it was mentioned somewhere in their show, but the taxes were up, then they mysteriously got paid, but I don't remember that ever being fixed there. That's amazing. I not watch many channels. I really enjoy Get Swamped. I love the animals. I believe Robbie is a very caring and giving man who truly cares for others. I also love the gators. I sometimes watch other storage unit YouTube channels and Guapo, of course. I watch a lot of player rapping. What? Player rapping? I don't know. I watch a lot of player rapping.
Okay.
I watch a lot of candle making videos, and I love listening to books online, and that's about the extent. The flea market is for the tortoise benefits, but it's very slow going now in the summertime. I'm making candles, selling vintage jewelry I have, but it's not making very much. Now with Winn-Dixie closed, now we need to find new places for veggies, etc., because it really helps our budget. It's already been blasted. Our building permit expired, but no worries. We're getting a new permit through Levy County. Hiring an engineer is requested to do our final inspections as we finish each project. As soon as that is done, hopefully work will begin very, very soon. Again, they're talking about money. This is all money statements. They have money to do all this shit, you know? So they're lying about indigence.
Yep.
I can't wait for HG to have a bedroom. I want to cook and bake and can and dehydrate in my kitchen. I want to dehydrate in my kitchen. I'm drying up.
I'm trying. Don't dehydrate in your
Don't
kitchen.
dehydrate. Electrolyte.
No. You want to hydrate. Hydrate. That Florida heat will get to you.
Very much so. I want to make the bread with my daughters, teach her to cook and to sew and to make the jewelries. I want to be in it. I want to stand in it like the truth. I'm playing hard. What does that mean? YouTube is a form of entertainment. Everyone knows that YouTubers create a storyline, or they do things like sell jewelry, put up makeup, film their families, etc., for views, which gets them paid money.
Sell peen rocks.
God, here's a period finally here. Look at this madness. It's just like a blur of words. I have to track it when I'm reading it. It's so crazy. Which gets them paid money, and people out in the world watch these YouTubers like it's a real soap opera or a storyline on TV because they have nothing better to do, because it's entertaining, because they feel
we have nothing better to do. No, this is our job. This is what we do. We choose to do it. It's not that we have nothing better to do. This is the best job ever. We work for ourselves.
It is. I feel
we're in entertainment. We're doing
blessed.
Broadcasting. We're not because we have nothing better to do. This is literally what we do for work.
I feel blessed to be able to do what I do.
Me too.
I
always wanted to be a broadcaster, always, since I was a little kid, and I am doing it. This is broadcasting. Period. Whether what is the difference between a YouTube show that you're listening to and the Howard Stern show that you listen to on the radio? What is the difference? Just the place that you tune in. That's it. That's the only difference. It's the exact same thing as whatever. I was a huge AM talk radio fan when growing up. Huge. I got into radio as a 20-year-old, did all kinds of, learning about how AM radio works. But then AM radio died, which was depressing. But luckily, things like YouTube and podcasts came around, and it opened up a whole new world of broadcasting. But that's what this is. It is broadcasting. It's not a bunch of people who don't have anything better to do. The good ones rise to the top because they know how to entertain and inform and pick. And it's not about creating a soap opera. It's just about covering stories that are interesting, finding things that are interesting that your audience likes.
Well, also making sure that some of the things that we've seen happen, they're not just swept under the rug either, because people have their lives set on fire and then play the victim like this kind of crap. If people just heard some of this stuff, again, with the buzzwords and everything else, they intend those. There's a purpose for all of that. That purpose is to defeat like truth, logic, and it's apparently worked for people like this quite a bit. I've seen a lot of them to get together in this little group of folks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But people end up getting involved. They act on things they see and hear and watch and then believe. And then they too start doing what the YouTuber is doing, even if it means destroying a family or hurting someone or hurting a child. The upsetting part about that is that these people doing this don't realize this is not a TV show. It's not a reality TV series. If it's a real family, real children, real people being hurt. These people do not realize.
Yeah, we know. Jeremy, George.
Yeah, they set lives on fire. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Like I said, them bringing in people like Paint Chips and then Lips.
Dinesh is being hurt. Lots of people are being hurt by these schemes. I think we know exactly what this is about.
When they brought in real criminals, like I said, when they brought in Paint Chips and then they bring in people they seem unhinged on top of it. And
there are others they have brought in that we won't even talk about.
Oh God, man.
There are others. There are other criminals that have been brought in that I'm not going to mention.
No.
But believe me, it's getting worse and worse.
It is. It's gotten to a level I can't believe. I can, but at the same time, like this, it's dangerous is what it is. But real people being hurt, do they not realize they will have to pay for their part in this? That's a threat. That's a threat. You will pay. Just like if someone commits a crime and they run in and they rob a bank and you're sitting in your car and they jump in the car and you drive away and they've killed somebody, you're as blame as they are.
Who's the getaway driver in this scenario?
Not you, man. I've seen you on Google Earth. You're my getaway driver.
Have you seen me in trucking? I'm getting better. I've
seen the pedestrians in trucking. What do you mean? Oh no!
That was so funny.
Well, it was. I thought that would be funny. I was like, I can't come on long, but I thought that would be really funny to do. Just pop in and yell, "Oh!" and then leave. They will pay as much as they do for that crime. Think about it. About these things that are happening to you, your family, your daughter, your son, your child. Think about what you're doing because you're bored and you want entertainment or think it's fun. Good God, that's a hell of a run-on sentence.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that. That is a mother of a sentence.
That's a paragraph.
It is. I think my family has proven enough via sheriff reports, police reports, videos. Remember, you've got a protective order against you.
You don't have one against anybody else.
Yeah. Many witnesses that we are innocent. Many witnesses again. And that is simply a storyline created for someone to make money on YouTube. I myself do not want to ever stand before God and before my Jesus. You have your own Jesus? That's interesting. before my Jesus and have to explain my part in ripping someone's family to shreds and tearing their little child to pieces. And that's creepy. Tearing your child to pieces. Oh, that's creepy. I wouldn't even refer to my child that way.
Really weird.
It's
Yeah.
bizarre. And that's what you've done. That's the YouTubers have done. This little innocent child has nothing left peaceful and joyful and wonderful
She has
for her
nothing
future.
peaceful or joyful. That's her parents' fault.
These people
they're the
are
ones creating her world around her.
They had her join into screaming over a fence or
screaming
under
through
it.
the fence at Travis.
Yeah, I'm sure the dude's just sitting there.
We didn't
doing
make her
nothing.
do that. We didn't.
God,
we
it's
didn't.
weird.
And we don't talk about her very often at all. Only about the state of the property and how it's not a safe place for a
I'm
kid.
talking about, again, red flags, because, again, what am I not supposed to take your word for it then, Lynette? Are you telling me that you lied before when you said that are you telling me that the child was a liar? Is that what's happening? Because I'm confused. Because, again, you messaged Shara. You told her all these horrible fucking things. Your lawyer admits that those are real messages. He says, I hope you're doxing real messages. Okay. But now that doesn't matter anymore.
I like this. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I've been out in the sun all day. DTG, lady, we've heard how you talk to her. Not peaceful. Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Just because I'm no longer talking on Lisa's channel doesn't mean I've thrown her under the bus, as you have stated.
What? That's funny.
People have the right to disagree. And again, she has the right to not want me to talk on her channel. It's her channel, guys. And I have the right to talk and defend myself against the lies and insanity going around. I have never, ever spoken against Lisa. And I won't start now. You said that she took away your voice.
Mm-hmm.
You said, quote, I am sick and tired of having my voice taken away from me everywhere, even when I say nothing at all about a case, about this and that. My voice, that's how it's typed right there, is shut down. My comments are removed. It's ridiculous. It is not for my safety. There's other reasons behind it, and I hope everyone figures it out pretty soon. Oh, yeah, you're talking that shit. You are.
So you never talked about her, huh? You never spoke against her. Yeah, you did.
I'm quoting her verbatim, by the way. I'm
you
looking
deleted
at the
it doesn't
post.
mean we don't still have it.
Yeah, but she's saying there are other reasons. She says it this way. There's other reasons behind it, and I hope everyone figures it out pretty soon. That's kind of an interesting way of putting that, isn't it? So anyway, let's continue here. Lisa, from what I know, from what I know, I love this, like, walk it around there. It's not.
Yeah.
Lisa is. Well, from what I know about her.
Right. The truth is, how well does she know this person? It's just some random person she met online.
Oh, it's so weird. Please stop believing lies and bullying me and my family. Bullying is wrong and you're adults. And hopefully you know that. God bless. John 3:16. I will explain why my stepdaughters have lied, as they have very shortly. So also she's going to go after her stepdaughters too.
Isn't John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he sent the only begotten son? That one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Look, people are like, I think 2L wrote this, or, Lips. She's like, I wrote it on my own channel. What's up? I love it. If you're innocent and the fleas and bruise are as wonderful as you think, did you turn in your discovery?
Here, I'll read those and you read her responses. Did your
attorney file?
No, I'll read these and you read her.
Okay.
Did your new attorney file their representation yet? What has been the holdup?
What's going on in my case right now is none of your business, as I said. I'm not going to respond with questions.
Wait, I'm not going to respond with questions. That's what it said. Or things about this case.
All of us
Not two questions.
Not two
I'm not going to
yeah.
respond two questions. I'm going to respond with questions.
All of us want to see that you are properly represented and not left to try and do this on your own. Statements have been made. Money has been collected, yet there has been no confirmation of a lawyer and legal documents. Did you get your discovery in yet?
Oh my God. This stuff is amazing.
Oh, look, it's
let's see, there's
Marla.
no comment there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this gets good.
Marla,
This is actually
it's
fun.
too late now because we know it's been screenshotted, but there are statements above I dearly wish you hadn't made, not because they're untrue, but because they will be used against you. Much love and support.
And she's like, it's untrue that Lisa gave her a wonderful Christmas. It's untrue that Lisa got the fence up. It's untrue. What's untrue? What the freaking hell are you talking about, Marla?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Let me check and make sure there wasn't any addition to this. Give me 1 second. I haven't.
Your statements are not untrue, but they will be used against you. For instance, killing dogs to protect your animals. You shouldn't have said anything.
No, well, especially since she has talked about offing animals before in the past. If you really want to see something crazy, by the way, you should sign in and look at this. Oh my God, there's more. She's actually she's commenting right now. Holy shit.
Oh no, right now?
Right now. 32 minutes
Right
ago,
now.
she's commenting. I got to refresh. It's not
Excellent.
disappeared. There we go. So, yeah. So look, check this out. She's ghosting some of this stuff. I like see, so here's another question. What are we doing?
Okay, no lies. This is an honest question. If you don't want this to affect a little, then why have her yell things under the fence at Travis? This is just one instance that I'm asking about. There are more, and don't try to say it's a lie because we all heard it with our own ears. Plain as day. I, as well as a couple hundred people that day, personally heard you tell her to yell under the fence, along with the vile comments by John.
She didn't. She was playing in our yard. Stop believing lies. And you are lying. No one heard me tell her to yell under the fence. You're listening to Travis lie. Stop shame on you. How dare you? God has been a punish you. I hope you realize that.
God has been a punish you.
God has been a punish you, lady.
That's amazing. That's new. I gotta screenshot this real fast in case it disappears. Yeah, when I looked at my phone, I was like, oh my God, she's commenting right now. That's amazing. Like it just doesn't stop. Oh, let's see what else. Yeah, there's that one. We saw this one. How's the service
How is
dog?
HG's service dog doing?
Like any 3.5, 4 month old puppy. 3.5, 4 months. It's quite crazy. It will learn and it'll be her best friend. It never leaves her side. It loves her already, follows her around like it's supposed to do.
Well, so they got a service dog that isn't trained. They'll never train it.
Yeah, it's not a
dog.
service dog, period, at that age. Like, it's service.
When you
Again,
buy a service dog, you buy them trained. You get them trained. Like
And
if
they have to
she's
be
saying she's going to train it to be a service dog, I doubt that she has the skills to do that.
let's see if there's any more. I was trying to make sure she hadn't said any more on that one. Let's see.
This is a good comment. The part I think you fail to understand is the money Lisa used to do all you stated was and is your money. It was raised and given to her for you. That is why I do not understand how or why she acts like she's doing you some sort of favor, taking her money and using it towards you. No, she raised money for you and your daughter and is the keeper of donations that were given to her for you. Don't forget, the only reason anyone knows about the fleas is because of you. They want you to forget that. They would be nobodies without what you're going through. Never forget that because they want you to.
Yeah, they traffic off your name.
Did you open the 11 replies or is that?
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
this.
this is all this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just the way it looks. If I close it, see the arrow? Like if I push up, it'll smush it back up.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. People are like,
Actually, Lisa's longtime subs are the ones helping the most. We all know about Michelle because of Lisa. It's Lisa. Lisa, you know, when she was getting like less than 100 views, the money donated for a specific purpose. Oh, now it's for specific purpose? Huh. I thought it was just however she wanted to use it as she saw fit.
Right.
That's what they've been telling us, to coordinate building out of the house. What the fuck? Has been used for other emergency needs, but the house materials are where the money's going. Without Lisa, none of the projects would have been done. No money would have been raised. Yeah, because look what they're saying about you, Preston, by the way. They're saying that you are too incompetent to have that money. Without Lisa, you wouldn't, these projects would not be done because you are an incompetent piece of garbage. That's what they're saying. Yeah. And they're telling you, throwing shade and doubt about Lisa is not going to work. It's not going to work, Michelle.
And then Marla says, you got that right. I'm a longtime supporter of Michelle and am eternally grateful to Lisa and her supporters who saw what is going on and gave and are giving from their hearts.
She is so much in damage control right now. And, you know, LP, I mean, it won't take long. There'll be something else that sets this shit off again, you know? She's like, she's done everything she said she was going to do, where in my statement, does it say otherwise? You people twist and turn and make up crazy crap. Stop it. Oh my God. I got a kid right here. Give me 1 second.
Hey.
Hey, what you doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Enjoy bubblegum and watching TV.
You watch TV?
Enjoy tomorrow.
All right. Well, you can go watch it for a little bit longer. It's almost bedtime. You know, it's almost bedtime. So, no, you can't sit down here. No,
Have a hug?
Yeah, I see you trying to slide. It's trying to slide up in my chair. No.
I want to doing hugs.
Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss. All right.
I want to kiss.
Oh, hey, you're getting caught in my cord. You're getting caught in the cord. Watch out.
I want to me hugs.
All right, give me one up. Don't push on me.
1 hug, 2 hug.
And that makes my side hurt, baby. Okay. Okay. Love you. Ooh. That's one thing, like with the all of this, you can't tell a kid not to get up on you. And you're like, ugh.
True.
I
You know.
want popcorn for a movie night.
We can get popcorn maybe later. Okay. I'll think about it. We'll see like how tired everybody is. You know.
I know it's just gonna be me and you.
All right. It's just gonna be me and you. You heard
Just
that?
gonna be me and you. Yeah, I heard that.
I love it. Oh, there's another one too.
And there's another one. What'd she say?
Just 1 second. Here, let me mute for a second. I gotta.
Okay. All right, folks. He'll be back in a minute. Let's see. Where's the hold music? Please hold. Your host will be returning momentarily. In the meantime, enjoy this little ditty. Do, 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 do. Yeah, can you imagine her training a service dog? Oh, God. I cannot. Honestly, I cannot. I cannot imagine it. I cannot imagine Lynette training a service dog.
Oh yeah, I can hear. You know, here, yeah, like poop on the floor. Oh wait, no, that's not your drink. It's my bad. Poop here, John. Rub your nose in it. Oh, gross. Let's see. So you have the answer. I guess. Here's the. I guess the answer they're talking like because there is the answer to that. Yeah, so read this one right here.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, how long have you been a sub of Lisa's? I was at the beginning to see both sides. But when she would never show evidence and only want us to believe what she was saying, I know how many subs she had back then. And of course, it's her subs giving the money. Lisa isn't using her own money. It's given to Lisa or ran through Lisa, so JH can't get anything. I will let you all believe that is how it works. How it will work. Lisa is disgusting and she's her channel never had this type of content. So stop getting on the storytelling bandwagon and making up history. Geez, you people are unbelievable.
Indeed. And she's like, right now you're lying through your teeth because she shows the evidence every single time.
Oh my God, she never shows anything.
Oh my God. Remember the dog thing again? Remember when they tried that?
Oh yeah. I spoke
we're going to get proof
neighbors.
soon. We'll
And,
get the proof.
and Jeremy Hales ran over the neighbor's dogs.
Oh my God.
And we're going to have that. Like, yeah, nothing ever comes of it. She never had any evidence of that.
Has shown every police report, shown every sheriff's report, has shown every bit of information, including videos. Stop lying, stop lying. Doesn't look good on you. Let's see. Is anybody? Look, they're so mad about Pup. You know, they keep telling her about the Muppets. Oh my God, they're Muppets in the comments. You know. Oh my God, I tell you. Okay. So that so far is what's here. Yeah, we'll see what else comes up. But my God, man. Let me make sure she hasn't posted anything. I mean, she's posting like manifesto shit.
That was totally manifesto length.
It was. And some of it
You want to be careful opening the mailbox on that one. With tongs.
Oh, I mean, they're nuts. What's wild is she never takes any blame for anything, you know? I mean, she takes
never.
No blame. It's always other people.
No responsibility whatsoever.
But anyway, I'm gonna hit super chats. You wanna go and get you some rest?
I am going to go to sleep. So tired. It is not even fun.
Did I lose you? Have I lost a connection? Let me check.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I lost you for a second there.
That's weird. Yeah, no, I am going to go to sleep.
Your side. Right.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not going to hit any of the wrong buttons though. Watch.
Please do not
I'll do it the right way, I promise.
Okay, I think she got so tired her voice left before she did. By the way, Deborah, thank you for 10 there. More. I hope I am sending this to the right account. It is indeed to the right account, and thank you. Actually, by the way, there are 2 accounts that give me a second. There are 2 of them that made the real umbrella guy. But if you're wondering about them, if you look in the comments of the video, they should all be there for it. So, I mean, just a note. Oh my God, these people, man. It is funny. I'm reading through some of the crazy stuff. My God. The guapo stuff. All right. Anyway, let's go with this. Rachel, thanks for the 5. Doctor asked me what rugs I'm having at the moment. I told him tucking Megan every night. Great therapy. You should try it. Indeed. Bam. That is the prescription strength you need. Good times. Fun times. Lori dropped 10 giftos, by the way. Thank you, Lori. That is much appreciated. They look very good on you. You want to wear something appropriate, wear something for your fine dining experience, try on a gifted membership. They're awesome. Or pick one up on your own. However, thank you, though, Lori. I appreciate it. Max Lab, thank you. By the way, give love to Max Lab, too. Oh, that new filing. I was waiting with bated breath. I saw that something was coming up, but it hadn't fallen in. And right when it hit, I didn't even wait a second. Max Lab already found it before I even refreshed into it. So it was pretty good, I have to say. That new filing, though, it is fascinating because we are talking about, again, the whole counterclaim mess. Like their whole game plan. I mean, their game plan has been to harass people with this litigation. Again, if they thought that they had a strong suit,
They would have just continued with their 2 cases, but they were so bad, such trash. And they brought in a trash lawyer too. So they tried to pull it out, and then lands in federal court. Why do they want it to go away with the counterclaims? Well, they say they're going to bring it with some other monster litigation because they had some other brainstorm. And apparently they worked themselves into a problem. So it'll be fun to see how it goes. Max Lab, thank you, buddy. Deborah, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Weeds and Wheels, thanks for the 20 there. Tuglet Fun tokens. Go and treat yourselves. Lug and bug. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, for Day, the little one, she's been slipping down here, and I can't tell her. Like little ones don't understand. Hey, you can't crawl all over me. I'm having some pain today. So that's one reason that I've had to have her leave faster today. I've been having chest pain, so I'm like, can't be on me. Can't crawl on me today. Dan Davis, thanks for the 9 months. I saw a meme on Facebook today. God was sitting in front of a barbecue grill, and Lucifer asked God what he was cooking. God answered, Florida. LOL. Oh no. Oh no. It's funny. It is exceptionally miserable out. Like in the South right now, the humidity out here is just, it will melt a person. Tracy, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Tracy. That is much appreciated. Misbehaving. What's up, Misbehaving? Thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Silicon Chief. Thanks. I appreciate you, by the way. Again, give you your props, buddy. You deserve it. Thanks for the 2. Domains are cheap, and I guarantee to make Tug laugh. Yes, indeed. The whole that's the thing I want to stress here. What Lips is trying is just a cheap ripoff of what other people do well. The whole thing about about these domains, when she's going and trying to commandeer the domain of whomever would like this, again, people who've done it better in the past, people like Chief. But for real, I mean, I've seen it done well, and this is just a shadow of it. What the problem is here is that she's suing everybody that she's now targeting. This, between this and the roast me garbage, I mean, she has taken a torch to her case, and she's done it publicly. Like I said, the video last night that 2L put together was so just incendiary as far as that case is concerned. I actually, for the first time, went and recorded part of it. I couldn't believe it was as crazy as it was. But remember, between that stuff and this, remember too, she added a DJ Radis video made after she posted this, asking for roast as evidence that she was being harassed. So I mean, it's so wild. But yeah, I mean, the whole domain thing, I could care less about really any stupid thing that these people will do. Like I said, they are just cheap copies of people who do it much better. The thing is, doing this to people you're suing, it's so dumb. And people are going, there's a method for damages. There he is. Jackie, thanks for the 2 there. What may rise in F2 if he sanctions BBB in F1? Well, it doesn't, it's not supposed to impact F2. I would think that having, see, this is the problem too. Like, this is actually a very real problem. And I think it created a pillable error as well. If he decides to look at BBB as a litigant, and he decides to release him from federal case 2, some of the stuff he said, where he's talked about adding him to litigation, well, and when he's talked about it in federal case 1, his perception of it and then he has no follow through and all of this, I think he'd make one hell of a case if he were to kick Bruce. As far as he should have, from everything from he should have allowed it to go forward to how exactly should that have gone forward? Even should he, after all of that stuff happened, should he even be the judge hearing federal case number 2? I mean, I realize that, you know, you want to combine them for expedience and for costs, but at the same time, at what point, you know, when he's giving opinions on him, at what point does something become a problem? If it doesn't go before a jury, if he decides to kick it, I think he's created some issues. So I think there's a bunch of good questions on how federal. We'll see what happens with Fed 2. But again, if he decides to kick that loose, I think you could really raise some hell about it. Sue, thanks for the vibe there. When does the civil cross over into criminal? Spontaneous, court judge / officer. So when does it cross over into criminal? Or are you asking like what has to be done to make it criminal? I mean, there are some elements. Well, see, some of the stuff that BBB did, interestingly, you know, he tried to use the court as the backdrop to say, well, I'm actually allowed to do that. You notice in his one filing, when he went after the lawsuit with a motion to dismiss, he was saying essentially all the stuff I did where I went after whatnot, when I said all these terrible things, I did that in the capacity as a lawyer, and I'm allowed to do it. You think about how crazy that is. So, I mean, if you're questioning like where the line is, that actually becomes a very good question in this. You know, if you're asking right now, unfortunately, courts, police, they've done very little to help out. Even the ones that have decided against these people. I mean, when you look at a protective order, for example, you have 2 violations on the book. What does that cost? A few $100 and, you know, a couple of thousand in lawyer fees. But I mean, what has it really done? You can tell it obviously hasn't stopped these people. It didn't thwart them. They're just out there running their mouths, still aiming at Hales. So it is crazy, though, isn't it? Bob, thanks for the 5 there. I get the feeling the judge every 2 weeks is going to find a way to delay another 2 weeks. Some of the players eventually drop. He doesn't want the case. He actually, I'm wondering, he says they're going to keep to the same timeline, but I don't see how that's possible. You know, he has allowed delays. He has allowed filing delays. There is no way you can continue with the original timeline because, again, he's already altered it. So his statement about sticking to that original case timeline, there's just no way. I mean, we still have discovery questions that are wide open. We still have, again, this whole issue with what we shouldn't be continuing, in my opinion, at all, with the Bruce question still lingering. I think that's not unfinished business, like he didn't rule on something. That is a major issue. If we don't, when the lawyer issue is answered, if we don't have that settled when we're going forward, I think that's a major issue. So I really hope you're wrong on that, Bob. I don't know. I haven't felt good about it. And again, it's not that I don't feel good because I disagree with judges' decisions. You know, I think a judge can be out there, and I don't like decisions. I think they're wrong, but I can still at least respect them for being impartial. You know, if that's all we were talking about, if I didn't like them for that, that'd be totally different. But I don't like this mess because this judge it's inaction. It's not actions I don't like. It's inaction to the point that the person suing is suffering for it. Again, you think about this. He has allowed these people to paper this case, driving up costs on Jeremy Hale. he is allowed these delays, these delay actions. You look at what he allowed Bruce to do before he finally said, hey, you need to stop it. You remember when he threw an absolute shit fit when Bruce did, when he was demanding sanctions, and he was just papering the case. He just kept throwing out filing after filing after filing after filing. And the judge finally did something, but how long did that take? Like Megan said, we should do a count of those. The judge should, and see who the real problem is. The DeFluficat again, thank you for that. That was much appreciated. Also, Lori, thank you as well. A little I'd appreciate that too. Thank you. Also, Wheezy Wheels, thank you as well. That was much appreciated. Misbehaving, thank you for the gifted membership as well. Thank you, Misbehaving. That is much appreciated too. MS Coast Life, thanks for the 2. A fan, most likely inform the court or makes research. Yeah, I mean, really talking about it for real, like being legit. They could have ran across. Who knows? Who knows how they found that? But it is interesting. I think that Megan was for real, right on target. She was right on task. So when you think about this nest of vipers that is the what the hell's media ecosystem, they say over and over again, don't listen to folks like us. We have no idea what we're talking about with law. And yet, how is that going? I mean, just yesterday, talking about, man, this is a humongous issue. And what does it turn out to be? It turns out to be a big enough issue that you have a judge reversing his decision. That doesn't happen a lot. That is a very rare thing to see. Judges do not like to admit when they're wrong. I mean, at least the judge did do that too. Like, that is good to see. I do have to say, because a lot of times you don't see that. But it also, again, it speaks to the idea. See, this is a point I was trying to make earlier. He was telling Randy that Randy didn't have to file when it came to Bruce's claims, essentially saying that he was party to all of this. He didn't have to file because the judge would catch it. But the judge didn't catch issues. If this is an indication, again, judges make mistakes. And if they decide on something and you don't mention it, you don't fight it until after the fact, it is much harder to get a judge to change their mind in the aftermath. So, John, thank you for the 5 there. What makes you think is the Hale judge hold the defendants accountable when there is another Florida good old boy? It seems JH needs to get him removed. Well, it comes problems with that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Do I have it? I have no faith in our judicial system. I mean, again, if you listen, like for me, I point out what I think about cases, what I think should happen, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. I hope the way things should turn out. And sometimes, as a matter of law, again, I think law is pretty cut and dry. And stuff. If you can get also to the jury standard, but for this case, like Fed 1, for example, Fed 1, there were major hurdles to overcome just getting to where we are now. And they were so cocky that they didn't think you'd get to this point. You saw the ecosystem's reaction. Because again, most people don't get to that point, but they did, didn't they? It's funny. Wanda, thanks for the 10. We just love y'all. The Mug Show. Well, I appreciate you folks. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Wanda. Love return too. Colleen, thanks for the 10. Breadsticks for Tug, Oreos for Bugs. Yes, indeed. Indeed. I'll try to avoid those Oreos. I don't need them in my life. Bunsen, thanks for the 2. Love, craft fun. Thank you there. Appreciate that too. That's much appreciated. Oh, lady, you said this the other day, lady. There is definitely no whisper that comes up. I went back and reviewed when that came up. I actually reviewed a live stream from the other day. And there's no differences that I notice in sound there. Yeah. So whispering, I don't know. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but misbehaving. Thanks for the 6 there. For every rat we see, there's a dozen we don't see. That's indeed true too. That's indeed true. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy that you don't see that goes on, and everyone that you point out, yeah, there's a lot of. You've seen what's came up behind the scenes too. Typically, you don't get to see the plot, the collusion, the crazy. You know, you don't usually get to see that, but we've gotten to see it in this case. It's so wild. Not thanks for the membership. First of all, thank you. Well, thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs. And on top of that, thank you for the gifted membership too. That is much appreciated. Thank you very much. A Bunsen named Bunsen Rockenstone. Thanks for the 5 there. My mom used to stutter like Megan when she got mad at me. Oh no. You're like, yeah, that brings back memory. No, not that kind of memory. It's funny. I hear you there for sure. Dottie, thanks for the 5. For Bugs Oreo cookies. Indeed. She's been on an Oreo kick lately. She's like, I need those. I need them in my life. I love it. Syndicate Chief, thanks for the vibe there. This shuts down them being sued on behalf of HG. Twice dismissed on the same. Yes, trespass fine. That sequence that would apply to the causes HG would have. Yes, indeed. That is indeed true. So them going out, I think you have a hell of a case to shut down their ridiculous claims. I love that too. I love the fact that it steps up. They ruin themselves in doing this. So Max Lab, thanks dude. Don't forget Ray is being served. That's true. I'll bring that up. I'll pull up the documentation on that. I think tomorrow for our stream. Remind me. I should pulled it up today, but it's just a bunch of stuff went on. But yeah, I spent most of the day trying to archive what all the stuff that happened yesterday. Because I'm like, oh my God, man. You know, again, if you're in litigation, like it's one thing to watch it from the outside, but to have somebody point litigation at you and be like, I'm going to sue you. And you're like, man, this breaks their case. Yeah. So I didn't pull that one up. But yes, he is indeed. He is being served. And remember, they tried to fight that. They did their best. They got together, concerted effort to try to ruin it. Isn't that crazy? Rusty Ray Hips. Rusty Ray Hips, what's up? Service dog has been mentioned a week or two. Well, we got that one little one there finally, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's almost like there's this thing that you can say, well, they spent money on this. This is the brand new big thing, and then suddenly, strangely, it disappears. And then we have all this weird talk about dogs. It was kind of a strange way to work into it, wasn't it? Copperwise, thanks for the 2. You can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay. Indeed. By the way, tomorrow, let me throw this out there too. Tomorrow, Ray Hip, aka Just J Hip, he will be he'll be putting on one heck of a show. He's already got it set up. Yes, he will be responding as my lawyer. Remembering, of course, we have not actually been served in anything. So obviously parody and satire apply. But yes, check that out. I'm curious myself to see how that comes together. Misbehaving. Thanks for the 6 there. Hi, my name is, well, it depends on the timeline and the spouse. Yeah, indeed. Oh my God. I don't understand the GED and the marriage thing. I really don't. The more I think about it, that does disturb me. Yeah, my first name depends on my marriages. Wait, what? Rusty Reyes, thanks for the day. Put in Chat GPT. Give it some intelligence. Indeed. I could ask it to improve her posts. Oh, that's funny. It would be funny to see what it made before and after. AKA the cat lady, thanks for the 5. Can Jeremy use all the evidence from the antis, even if they don't turn it over as part of his case? They can fight the inclusion of pretty much anything. You know, you can fight it, but he can try to have it admitted, you know. That's the way the court will decide on what is or isn't admissible. You know, if there's something contentious, and I'm sure they're going to fight, they're going to try to fight everything. But if them not turning over stuff too, like that's a real problem for them. You know, you can go with the idea that, of course, over time, I mean, it's been years. I forgot this or I forgot that, right? A few things. But if you turn over nothing, that's going to cause a problem. And that's a way you can cause yourself big problems with discovery like that. You can cause default judgments because you don't turn over something. Or again, they can also come back and they can exclude your ability to utilize that as part of your defense. If you don't turn over something and then you decide, hey, this person right here, they were a witness. Like she says, I have witnesses, right? Do you? Because you haven't mentioned any of those. You're not turning over any evidence that that connects to that. I mean, the way that this stuff was spelled out, did they turn over anything related to the Ohio decisions, for example? And on top of that, what really got my attention was what Randy said about the counterclaim, the filing that John put in. You know, the summary judgment filing that got shot down. In that, you have communications that Bruce had with whatnot. Well, that stuff, all of that, none of it had been turned over. So the first time that you're finding out about this, it's through filings and not through the channels that you're supposed to utilize. And typically you don't see this kind of stuff. But what it does is it makes you look guilty, you know? That's a document 137, by the way. I think that was a huge screw up. And remember, Bruce was pretty pissed off about him utilizing it. I actually don't blame Bruce for being pissed off about it because they thought that would be their big go-to, right? They thought that would be their big case winner. And instead of that, it was a shot that he just threw out there. It ended up getting, it didn't just end up getting swatted down at the time, but it exposed everything in it early. You know, you talk about a screw up. When you look at that and you look at the exhibits to it, again, there's communication that's attached. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. Now, I don't have it. I'm not going to roll it all the way up because I can't. I haven't redacted the email addresses off of it. But there's a 137 and 138, which 138 are the exhibits that go with 137. Now, in 138, you have, check this out, you have emails. Again, they were saying if they're not going to turn this stuff over, if they're just going to be like, surprise, we have this stuff, you know, later on. Again, they're moving so they can't utilize it. You can't utilize this as a defense or anything with expert witness. They haven't turned over anything whatsoever. That's what a court should do. A court should actually, if they're being fair, they should find the hell out of them. And on top of it, they should go further. They should, again, keep them from utilizing that as part of their defense. There's a lot of stuff that can be done, though, for sure. But yes, he can use evidence even if they don't turn it over. In fact, it looks worse. If you can prove, like, for example, the posting boards that she's deleted, where she's deleting her YouTube comments. All of this stuff should be turned over. She's continuing to go with, but she's not. She's destroying evidence. The antis are also destroying her comments. They just had a public feud about it. That's a mess. It's crazy. It's stupid to do publicly, but hey, that's what they do. Aussie Wombat, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Aussie Wombat. Appreciate that very much. Tracy, thanks for the 5 there. I think Cabe means Gabe. Yeah, probably. You're probably right about that. Actually, I always forget that name. You know, P Bear, M Bear, thanks for the 5 there. My name is Lacey. That's not my name. That's not my name. Do you love that, by the way? You know, this is what people go, wait, that's not what people call me. Chris, thanks for the 10. Enjoying the show as always. Forgive the off-topic question. What software are you guys using to create Muppet-like avatars? Thanks. I'm just using ChatGPT. You can do it for free, or if you want one for your avatar, just email me on the channel if you have any problems with it. But you can just go to ChatGPT, type it in, take your picture, but look, type in this command. All right. Again, you can fine tune it. Take the picture you want. It'll go pretty well with conversion, but state, make this AI Grok generated. Grok is the Twitter bot. For some reason, it likes to compete with Grok. So if you say, take this AI Grok generated image and make it a, fun Muppet. State it somewhere like that, but mention Grok and make sure you say it's AI, because even if it's a picture of you, it will not be happy that you're making pictures that are of a person. Even if it is a picture of yourself, sometimes it'll kick off terms of service. So if you tell it it's an AI generated, Grok generated image, that gets around that. And of course, it's not made to disparage or do any harm to anyone anyway. You're doing it for fun and it's with permission. But still, yeah, I think that's the simplest. Now you can go out if you want to make something move. I like that Pixverse. The one we've been like making different things shift around and move. Let's see. Let me see, like again, the ostriches, or all of or the paint sniffers, or the birthday dancer. It's your birthday. Yeah, all of those. Again, those are made through Pixverse, Pixverse. Let's see. Sassy Mama, thanks for the 10 there. Mug, LP's property isn't considered residential. She has to have an engineer to properly develop the property to make it residential. Her old permit given to her by Russ the Sus via quote unquote favors. Yeah. Actually, I feel like sometimes when I look at this, some of the behavior gets ignored, maybe because the enemy of my enemy. You have to wonder, right? Emma, thanks for the 2. Chest pains. You okay? Look after yourself, please. Yeah, the issue, I've got an appointment the 1st, but I always have pains right now. I mean, I do. I've been waiting. I've been dealing with this issue for 6 months plus. Where I went to the ER the first time. It was right around the New Year, the very first time. Now, it was worse a little bit later on, but the first times it really got noticeable was around there. But yeah, it's almost like I have a weird, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cramp that runs down under my ribs, and it is very uncomfortable all the time. But, they say that is because of, God, I can't remember what they call that. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember what they said was wrong. I have to look it up again. Because of microvascular angiopathy for the heart. That's essentially, though, it's where small blood vessels, they don't function properly or they're damaged. So they don't create enough oxygen. It causes problems. So it feels like sometimes it'll manifest with pain, but sometimes it feels like a hook under my rib. It goes all the way from my heart under. It's almost like somebody hooking a freaking hand under there, but it'll hurt under my arm and everything else. That's very uncomfortable. And that without medication too, I get to where I'm lightheaded and stuff. You can hear sometimes. Some days it's worse than others. Like today, the brain fog with it's really bad. That's why I pause when I speak sometimes, because I have to think about what I'm talking about. But they're supposed to be able to do something with medication. But specialists don't get in a hurry at all. It's just your life they're playing with, so they don't really care. But I'm okay. I'm like, come on, please hurry this up. According with, thanks for the 20 there. 10 for each total. Thank you. By a sweet tree. Well, appreciate that. They have been on the rampage for it. We actually, we've got a visit. I think we're going to go Friday. I've got a doctor appointment Friday, so I'm going to take them to maybe Murfreesboro and run them around. Let me get my redirect set up real quick. Give me 1 minute here. God, the redirects. I wish they would make it like easier and quicker. You know, the redirect is kind of a pain in the butt. Just give me 1 second. But I do like to redirect to Shizzy. Yes, second. Man, this thing does not want to redirect today. There we go. All right, finally. I was having a problem getting the redirect to take, you know, and it's a lot easier to, if again, everybody should go check out Shizzy anyway, but the redirect just makes it a one button push and you can go. Finally got the redirect up. Hey, kiddo.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, everyone hears you there. You want to say hey to them real quick?
Hey, everyone.
What are you up to?
Just watching TV. I tried to make Sissy do popcorn because you want to watch stream.
Really?
And I said no because I was asleep. I didn't know who was asleep.
You didn't?
Yeah.
Man. But is she trying to rest? Yeah, she wasn't feeling good today, remember?
Well, it's normal and
I know, but her hands were starting, remember? She didn't feel good today.
Her teeth are full up. I didn't see her fall up in the toilet again. Because everyone that falls up, you know what I mean?
Don't talk about her being sick today.
I talk about that.
Oh, yeah, she was sick today a little bit. Okay, later. By the way. Oh,
your phone fell. I took out the cord on accident.
I know, you knocked it over here. Get your foot off of it. All right, well, tell people bye. We're fixing to leave. We're going to go.
Bye.
Yep, everyone. Go over to Shizzy Wiznut. He's on with the expert.
Have a good day, everyone, and have a good night, actually, because it's nighttime.
Yeah, that's right. It's nighttime. And
so
go
have
over,
a good night.
Tell them to go check out Shizzy.
Check out Shizzy and have a good night and have a good dream.
And tell them Bug sent you, right?
Bug sent you.
That's right. Bug sent you. Big umbrella girl, right?
A big umbrella? Can it get bigger?
That's right. Bigger. So big umbrella. Tell them Bug sent you, right?
Bug, thank you, Bug, and have a good day, everyone.
Thanks,
actually, have a good night because it's nighttime.
All right.
And have a good dream, everyone.
Yep. And say bye.
Bye!